there, everybody. Critical Mess, episode 56. The show where we talk about movies that critics and audiences don't agree on, like tonight's film, Bad Boys. I'm Nick Honeywell. I'm here with my friends, Grizz Griswold, Brian MC Cullen, producer Ben. Say what's up, gents.
What's up, gang?
Hey, Brian MC Cullen here, and I can't wait to talk about the orangest movie I've ever seen.
It's orangey.
It's so hazy. Orangey. So hazy.
A lot of filters.
All right, let's break the ice. But so this icebreaker goes, I think, nicely with the film tonight. It's kind of a buddy film we're talking about here in Bad Boys. So I want to know, guys, which buddy movie has the best chemistry, like the best chemistry between the two buddies? And honestly, I'll start. I think tonight's movie is pretty good. It's probably not the best, but it's pretty good.
Very
it's in the
high
conversation. But I'm going to go with, frankly, what ranks the highest ranking buddy movie on my top 100. And that's Dumb and Dumber.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah,
I'd be sad if you didn't.
Yeah, I have to. I mean, the chemistry is, it's my favorite comedy of all time, and it's a buddy movie, and the chemistry it's 10 out of 10, A+, perfect.
Okay. All right. I'll go a little off kilter on this one, but Face Off.
Ooh, okay.
I know that's kind of the duelings, but I feel like their chemistry.
Wait, who's the...
John Travolta
and Nick Cage. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why, but
so they're not buddies at all.
Really buddies.
They're not buddies at all, but I just feel like their chemistry, because we're talking about chemistry, and I feel like their chemistry, they had such mad respect for each other.
They do have a good yin-yang balance kind of going.
It's a good unorthodox choice there.
Yeah, it's a great answer to a different question.
Yeah, sure. I like Face Off.
That's great. Oh, great. Yeah. So I was going to say Lethal Weapon, because there's something about Murtaugh just like getting on. Who's Danny Glover's character? No, he's Murtaugh. He's Murtaugh. Who's Mel Gibson? I should know. Anyway, when Mel Gibson gets under Danny Glover's skin, it's just so good. It's so good. But really, I'm gonna have to edge out with Rush Hour. I think Rush Hour
good one.
is so good, and I think it's because they fight so much. And I think that's also with Dumb and Dumber. Like most of the movie, they're sort of fighting and bickering a lot, and that's actually like. From a chemistry perspective, if you can fight good with somebody, I think that means you have good chemistry with them. 100%. And so same thing with Rush Hour, Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. They were just
because
so good.
You don't fight with someone you don't like really have a good relationship with. Like you've built something to be able to have these fights, interesting fights. You know,
Chris Tucker just can't believe some of the things Jackie Chan says, and then Jackie Chan is just so like, you're so dumb with your stupid cult. You know, it's so good.
And Rush Hour 2 also very good.
Rush Hour 2
good. What happened to
too.
Brett Ratner? Is he still doing stuff?
I think those were the only two good movies he ever did, right?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him.
Him and McG,
and
some of these directors like fucking Joel Schumacher.
Rush Hour is my second Blu-ray ever.
Nice. Yeah, it's a great Blu-ray ever. All right, Grizz has a special social media announcement.
I do. Social media.
Check us out, criticalmesspodcast.com, and you can find our latest episode on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcast, as well as our entire archive. And you can see our Instagram link.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I should write something up for that.
And please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We would be so flattered.
We would.
And if you left a comment on this video, we would be even more flattered.
You have to leave a comment on this video.
Please.
And another hot tip is we recommend, watching the movie Bad Boys tonight before you listen to this podcast, or actually maybe watch it while you're listening to this podcast. That could be fun. We're doing that.
That'd be a great hang. Yeah. For sure.
Okay. Do we have any feedback or corrections, updates tonight?
No real feedback or corrections, but I will say we finally got our marketing materials for the Ambrosia list. So you can see. I know that you're going to tee that up later, Nick. But I just wanted to sort of if you've probably seen in our set, we finally got our marketing materials there. So now it's an actual show. So look forward to seeing that. But I don't have any corrections other than that.
Cool.
No corrections. No.
All right, on to the sock game. Black home field socks tonight. Home field. Just another sponsor, great sponsor.
Homefieldapparel.com.
Homefieldapparel.com. I think I got these on the right foot. Oh, no.
Right foot, left foot?
Oh, no.
There's nothing on this side. You're on the right side.
Okay, good. It's covered up. Everything's fine.
A little further down.
It's on the correct foot. I got a tall shoe.
Very tall shoe.
It's a very tall shoe.
You pumped it up too much.
Everything's
but perfect for home field socks.
Yeah, indeed. Right.
Yeah.
Just the way it kind of caresses my ankle.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a good sock. Okay, we're going to be spoiling Bad Boys, a movie that came out in the year of our Lord 1995, and it's directed by Michael Bay, and it's called what I just said, Bad Boys.
It was the perfect perfect crime. But for Miami detectives Marcus Burnett and Mike Lowrey,
Buenos días, mi amor.
it was the ultimate nightmare. This case
We got 72 hours before the FBI and the DEA walk in here and shut us down.
You know, you drive almost slow enough to drive Miss Daisy.
this murder. And this witness.
You ain't with the bad guys now. You with the cops.
This is your getaway car, police? It's a family station wagon? Thank God you got a baby seat in the back.
Are going to put them
Look at you. Look at you. Can you stay focused? You're talking about unfocused. Yeah, focused on all this scattered ass around here.
to the ultimate test. Columbia Pictures presents Justice Will Be Done.
You forgot your boarding pass. Oh,
And boys will be boys. Bad boys. What you gonna do?
bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
All right, let's talk some numbers. So this one, guys, did you guys see the budget on this one?
Yeah.
$20 million, around $20 million.
That's nothing.
That is shockingly low.
There's that. How did that even cover the pyrotechnics?
I don't know. There were some the set
Fun
pieces.
fact we'll talk about later. Thanks, Michael Bay.
I'm glad that you have an answer.
I do.
Yeah,
Will Smith's was 50 cents.
Yeah, and you got a little bit of star power in this movie too. I think people kind of forget actually what a big star Martin Lawrence was in the '90s.
Mm-hmm.
He was fucking huge.
Well, he had his own show called Martin.
His own show on
5
Fox.
years.
His stand up. He had some of the biggest stand ups of the '90s.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was a big deal. He was probably a bigger deal than Will Smith.
He
at the
was
time.
absolutely bigger than Will Smith.
yes.
At
I mean,
this
Will
time.
Smith was popular for Fresh Prince, and he had been in I think 3 movies before this. But I think people kind of forget this is like the first action movie that Will Smith did.
Yeah, first one for Will Smith after a lot of his fame. But yeah, Martin Lawrence was top billing for this. He was the first cast. He was the highest paid. Everything.
Yeah,
Yep.
that makes total sense. Anyways, 20 mil took down 142.
Wow.
So this is a monster smash.
Yeah.
I mean that's a big win.
Michael Bay came out the gate with his first feature film, making 5 to 6 times the budget. Yeah, that's why he's Michael. That's why he became who
That's
he
why
was.
he's Michael fucking Bay. Yeah.
Right.
This kicked it all off.
So speaking of Mr. Bay, he's got to be our most talked about director for Critical Mass. I think.
Is this
I think
3,
this is our
4?
third one.
Do you think he tries to make critical messes? Do you think he sets out to
succeeds.
make a critical mess?
He makes movies for the people. He really
he sure does. I don't think he's ever made a critical mess the other way around, where it's high critic, low audience.
Certainly not.
T2?
We don't even need
No.
that.
No,
I thought you were saying.
Shut your dirty
I
mouth.
thought you were saying critical, highly on the critical.
No, T2 is the great James Cameron.
All sides.
But we've also talked about on this podcast Armageddon. That was a fun. It's an old one before we were doing video. And even older than that, we talked about Bad Boys 2.
Yep.
So this is also the first time we're talking about, I think, like the same franchise again.
Yep.
Right?
Hey,
First time
we're
we've done that.
56 episodes in. We can do that.
Yeah, we can
Do you
do
remember
that.
the synopsis I gave for Bad Boys 2? That long ass synopsis. Remember, I was like, I found this synopsis on the web on the internet, and it was like just I wrote it.
Well,
and then your response to that was like, I'd like to give a point by point rebuttal. I was like, this is a great podcast.
Well, that episode sounds like it was recorded inside of a tin can.
That's why I was recounting it for you guys, because I know you're not going to.
It's very difficult. So, anyways, we're redeeming ourselves.
That's
because
why I joined.
Yeah,
I was
It was
listened
episode
to
2 that he was really pissed off.
and I was like, I can do this.
we have audio that works now. So yes, we're very grateful for.
So thanks to Michael Bay, we have been our producer.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Michael Bay only about 30 when he made this film. So that's also pretty cool. But as some of you probably know, he's directed a fair bit of movies, or a fair number. So he's probably the one that's really near and dear to my heart is The Rock.
The Rock is his best movie by far.
That's probably his best film. He's also done Pearl Harbor, which
Yeah, I remember that.
there's that. He did 5 Transformers movies. I'm not even going to list them out. That's too many.
Has one director ever
Transformers
directed
1, 2, 3, 4,
5 movies in the same franchise?
That's a great question.
I know that it wasn't Steven Spielberg with Indiana Jones, because the 5th one was James Mangold, right?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if there's ever
It
been a
wasn't-
franchise with one director who's done 5.
It wasn't Pirates.
Let us know if you know.
Well, Star Wars, did Lucas
no,
do?
no, Lucas
he did the 3?
Lucas did 4.
He didn't come back
Yeah,
for
no.
He did 4 Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
He
come
did
back for
the
one?
first one. He did A New Hope,
Yeah.
and then he did the 3 prequels.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So there's 4. We've got a lot of 4s, but I'm not
Okay,
sure if there's
interesting.
5 out there.
So Michael Bay, he's done some other stuff. Pain and Gain. You guys see that one?
Ooh,
Mark
I did like
Wahlberg,
that one
right?
a lot.
Yeah.
I like The Island.
The Island. That was one.
don't know if it
Ambulance.
holds
Oh, man, I
up.
forgot
Have you
about
guys
that
seen
one.
Ambulance?
No.
Oh
Oh
The
my
first
God.
big
Yeah.
drone movie.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's drone.
Just drones all over the place.
It is
intense.
droning constantly.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
Sounds about right.
That's not going to age well.
No, but it's like he found a drone. He found a first-person drone and then was like, "This is the movie."
Yeah.
This is it. Yeah.
And then the Gray Man saw it and they were like, "Oh fuck, let's do drones everywhere."
Oh,
Remember
this
the
is
Gray
worse.
Man?
Oh, yeah,
How they would
it's
just
way worse
drone
than that,
from
too.
like A to B, but you didn't go anywhere. Anyway,
We also talked about the Gray Man
we did.
on a previous
Check out
episode.
the Gray Man,
Yeah.
guys.
So who's in this one? Well, obviously we've talked about Will Smith and the once great Will Smith. And you've got Martin Lawrence. You've also got Téa Leoni. Joe Pantoliano. You've got Teresa Randall. Interestingly, she's got the same first name in the film. Her
Oh,
her
that's
Her
weird.
real
She
name's
does.
Teresa.
part of her contract.
And okay, do you guys want to? Do you know the actor? You know, I always know him from Goldeneye. Is what I think.
The French guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's Russian Minister of Defense Dmitry Mishkin.
Yeah, but he's a French actor though, right?
He's a French actor, and boy, does he have a name that is just
Can you say it?
begs to be butchered.
Can you please
Now
try?
I looked it up, so
Okay.
I know how to say it correctly. But you guys could even take a shot at it. Here's how it's first. Just guess at how to say his first name. Here's how you spell it: TCHEKY.
Oh no. Wait, that's it?
Okay.
TCHEKY. No, that's the whole thing.
That's it.
Yeah.
Che.
Checky.
Chick. Chicky. Chicky.
Che.
Chicky.
Just tell us.
Cheeky.
Oh, cheeky. Okay.
Cheeky. Last name
course.
Karyo.
Karyo.
Caro. I'm gonna go with the easy bet. Caro.
Karyo.
Oh, sure.
Cheeky Karyo.
Cheeky Karyo. Yeah.
Caro.
He's great.
Yeah,
he's in
classic.
he's in a couple other movies
He's
as
in
a character actor.
La Femme Nikita
Oh, that's where I've seen him. Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him. Yeah, I think he's
Yeah,
good. He's a
good,
good
yeah.
villain.
Yeah, I agree. All right, quick refresher about the criteria for the movies we talk about on this little show we do. So, movies got to be fresh with audiences and rotten with critics, or vice versa on Rotten Tomatoes, and the disparity has got to be 20% or so. So, Bad Boys, we're at 44% with critics. A very appropriate gun caliber for this. A 44.
Oh,
Yeah.
there are so
This
many
sounds-
fucking guns in this
There's a
movie.
lot of guns in this film. And we're at a 78% with audiences. So we've got a nice critical mess here. And, we're
And
gonna talk about it.
top critics is down to a 30%.
Okay,
So.
there you go. There you go. Okay, so we're sponsored. We're sponsored by Home Field, who make great fucking socks. We're
And
also
other
sponsored-
apparel.
and
other
other
apparel.
apparel. But the socks are brilliant. Chef's kiss. We're also sponsored by Old Elk,
We're gonna finish off the rum cask, finish rye.
the rum
tonight,
cast.
boys.
Wow.
Finish it off
That's
with
made it
these.
all the way since our Pirates episode,
And by
right?
we, I mean me.
Yes.
Yeah, this
Right?
is actually this was the next episode. I kind of bought it in honor of that, but yeah,
Oh,
this,
okay.
this is
Sure.
kind of stuck around for a while, so I'm gonna retire that one.
Way to go.
So
just
now
throw it over.
on
Good thing we got another one.
Now on to our primary sponsor, the Ambrosialist. And boy, do we have a treat for you. So
Oh my gosh.
All right.
we
I
have
like
a
it.
There's a paragraph.
we were given a teaser poster for the new season, and you might notice it.
Can
just
you hold it
right-
up?
Oh,
to
please
cam-
hold that up.
Hold it up
Yeah.
to camera.
I'll hold it up.
Here,
I got
yeah,
this.
Get a good
Oh,
shot of
man.
that.
This
Get
is
a great
wonderful.
shot of that.
Tilt it down.
Make sure there's no glare on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
obviously,
Perfect.
great promotional materials that
Can't wait to
they're
watch it.
sending us.
yeah. I mean, so
And I think you'll notice the Ambrosialist, he's looking kind of 19th century in this in this kind of promotional poster. And that's because Zachary Quinto, also known as the Ambrosialist, he's invented a time machine with his father, Ted Danson.
Whoa.
Oh, okay, that makes sense now.
And guess what's happening? They're headed back to Whitechapel, England to hunt down Jack the Ripper with modern forensics.
yes,
Wow.
Yes.
I was hoping for that.
Modern
What a
forensics.
twist.
What a twist. Which it really seems kind of only like a natural progression because they kind of caught Bigfoot at the end of last season. I'm sure. I'm sorry if I spoiled that for anybody.
He did, but
Sorry.
Well, sorry. You know, it was kind of during that. You know, they had that kind of boozy hot air balloon race. You know, and they, it
Across
was,
Egypt.
yeah, it's time for their next thrill. So, Anyways, not sure how they're going to work in Anna Kendrick's character into this kind of new season, but the writing on the show is obviously really, really good. So they're gonna.
I heard she kind of goes undercover as like a lady of the night, and kind of
to kind of trap.
It's a rumor.
I'm trying not to be spoiler. I'm trying to stay away from any reviewers. And
I just eat it up. I go online. I read everything about the show, and I also did hear that there's kind of this running pun, which I'm looking forward to seeing how they do this. But it's like how they're sort of bourbon connoisseurs. He's a bourbon connoisseur,
right?
And they're over in merry old England, and it's like there's like the Johnny Walkers and the Scotches, and him and his father are always joking like, where can I get a good fucking bourbon over here?
Yeah, that kind
American
of
bourbon.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a funny gag.
They don't
find some good stuff to drink over there.
Yeah. Sure.
So
it'll be fun and thrilling. That's why The Umbrosialist is the best show on TV.
So good.
Did I say it was on NBC this fall?
NBC this fall.
Because I know Paramount Plus picked it up just for a brief period, but then I think we're back to NBC.
Yeah,
That's what the
9/8 Central.
Yeah,
That's what the
NBC sent
graphic
that.
says, yeah.
It's right to us. So, okay,
Yeah, they were proud, so they sent us some merch. Yeah,
we're proud too to sponsor The Umbrosialist, 9/8 Central. All right.
wait, we're sponsoring them?
We are
Ben,
sponsoring.
Yeah,
them.
we're big enough to where we sponsor other
Ben,
people now.
Okay, I thought they were sponsoring us.
It's
But
kind
now-
of like a mutual
now-
thing,
Yeah.
where it's like we
Scratch
sponsor
each other's
them, they sponsor us,
They send us small pieces of paper with the graphic on it.
right,
Yeah.
and we reciprocate with bad jokes about their show.
Yeah.
So anyway, we are
It's
going.
mutual.
We're gonna rate Bad Boys. Who wants to start? I'm not gonna start.
I'll start. I feel like I haven't started in a while.
Oh, gosh.
Guys, here's my synopsis for this movie. It wasn't a bad movie. I liked it a lot better than Bad Boys 2. I don't remember what I gave Bad Boys 2, but I rated this
23.
higher. Did I?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is at least double
You
that.
created
at
an
least.
app for us.
Yeah. Well, I could check. Sure.
You did great.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's a fun, funny, unoriginal keyword. Cop action comedy that does some things right, but doesn't have enough substance at its core to hold itself up as a memorable movie. That's right. I wrote my own synopsis, and I'm not reading it like NPR. It's a flashbang film. So I feel like it dazzles you, right? Like a flashbang kind of, but then it just like fizzles away right away. And it's like you don't really remember it after it's over.
And
that
you're
was
just
kind of
dizzy
my
and can't
experience
see.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like kind of like it dazzles you and then it's over.
That's
so
most Michael Bay movies, I guess.
flames out pretty much as soon as the credits roll for me. So it was great while it lasted, but it did not stay with me at all, and it just had way too many fucking guns. So I'm gonna give it a 48.
Too
48
many guns.
Just too many guns.
Too many guns.
And I like guns. I love guns.
Wow.
But this had too many of them.
Disrespect to the guns.
So, yeah.
Man. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and go next. Do you want to keep that up?
Shit!
All right.
I'm glad that I don't have much in my cup.
I was kind of hoping everybody refilled
All right.
before I realized this
Yeah,
because
no,
I
I'm-
saw his score after we wrote him down, and I was like, damn it.
All right.
All right,
So real quick, one more time. Sorry.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. This is why we implemented the whiteboards. We don't know what we rated this. We write it down beforehand. We don't know.
Yep.
If we ever rate it the exact same, we got to finish our drinks.
Everybody,
Cheers.
finish your drinks.
Here we go.
48.
All right.
Oh, that's good audio, as Ben would say.
Yeah.
Good audio.
Everybody loves a good
Oh god, that was
slurping sound
Mm-mm-mm.
in their ears.
that was full.
All right.
48. So do you have anything to say about the 48?
It's funny you mentioned this, but like this movie, like I was bored. I was like weird, like as much action as craziness as this had, and I rated Bad Boys 2 a 55. And I thought it was funny as hell, Bad Boys 2, because it was like they knew that they were laughing at themselves. This felt just, like a buddy cop movie, but they threw in some thrills here and there, but it felt serious, more so than 2.
Okay.
So I think this one just fell way flat. I mean, I kept checking my phone, I kept pausing it, taking some notes, but like, I don't know, it was weird. I was just like, had no interest in watching
That
it.
sounds worse than a 48.
I know, it's just tough, but like their chemistry is what just like killed it for me. Like their back and forth, their banter, like like I truly believe they were like best friends in this.
But so you would you say that like it was boring, but it wasn't bad?
Yeah, I would say, yeah,
Okay.
it's boring, not bad by any means. I mean, it's still a fun watch. I mean,
I actually agree with you. I think Bad Boys 2 is a funnier, more fun, more ride
I
of a
think
movie.
they were laughing and being quirky.
But I
with it,
thought that
too.
Bad Boys 2 had some things that it did really wrong that I just could not get behind. And I don't think this committed the same sins for me as that one. But I can see in another world me rating Bad Boys 2 higher than this. Sure.
Yep.
Do you want me to tell you everybody's scores for Bad Boys 2?
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, Nick, you had an 83, Brian 24, Grizz 55, and Ben 65.
Okay, so I was the lone hater on that one.
24.
And Ben, where are you here?
I'm at a 60.
Okay, a little bit slow.
248s and a 60.
I like Bad Boys 2 more just because I've watched it so many more times.
Yep.
I enjoy the comedy there. And
Was it the rats fucking in the attic?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just this one I like more or less, a little less.
All right, Bad Boys 2 just suffered this typical sequel pitfalls that I'm a sequel hater, so but I get where you're
Well,
coming
with him,
from.
like I feel like 2 was on repeat when I was growing up, so I think I just completely ignored this one almost entirely until way late.
I've watched 2 like 10 times more than this, but I've watched this quite a bit.
Where are we at, Nick?
What you got, Nick?
94.
Holy shit!
94.
Ooh, yes.
94.
49 better than Reagan.
49 better than Reagan.
We did it.
That's your highest score.
No, it's not.
It's not?
It's tied with Blade.
No, Blade's 90. No,
Tied
Blade was
with-
higher.
So it is your highest score.
Incorrect. I double checked this morning.
Really?
It's tied with Blade.
Wow.
It's a 94.
So it's tied as your highest score. Wow.
That is correct.
I'm disappointed you didn't rate Blade higher.
94. All right, let's hear it, man. Let's give me
So
the
action is my favorite movie genre. So I think this is one of the great action films of all time. I think it's top 3 90s action for sure, and that's saying something. I think some of the best chemistry, 2 actors have ever had on screen is in this film. I think, and it just doesn't get old to me. I can watch this movie over and over and over again, and I have. I think this movie kind of redefined action in a lot of ways, and I think just through the cinematography and kind of art style, you might not like it, but it was new. It was interesting. He kind of did something. He did some things different. It was cut like a music video in a lot of ways.
Well, I mean, Michael Bay, his IMDb is about 30 music videos and then Bad Boys,
right.
so it makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. I think we kind of mentioned earlier, it made Will Smith an action star.
Agreed.
That's pretty important. Because
this was a year before Independence Day.
Yeah, right.
Which was
before
when he
Independence Day. He had not done an
exploded.
action movie before.
What other movies did he do before this, though? I mean, 94. That had to have been his first movie.
They were like 3 things I had not seen or really heard of.
But you're right.
Like,
this was the
It kicked it
vehicle
off.
for Will Smith to be an action star.
Yeah. I think the pacing of this film is very good. I think it has some problems, but I think it's mostly really good. I think the action sequences are mostly really good. Also some flaws, but very good. I think the acting is pretty good for an action movie. And I think the story is a lot of fun. And I think the whole "who's the real Mike Lowrey" bit that they do for such that big part of the movie is works and is great. I think this movie legit does not get quite enough credit for the impact that it had on sort of the action movie genre. I think it does get credit. Don't get me wrong. I think it gets credit, but I think it doesn't quite get enough. And I also will finish this rant by saying, this movie just kind of means a lot to me personally. Like, this is a movie that I just means a lot to me personally. I watched this movie all the time when I was in fucking high school. Like, it was, I would rewind some of my I'm an old person. Some of my, the best parts of this movie that we'll talk about more in Hot Pocket for sure. So this movie is just, big nostalgia glasses for this one. And I always do kind of, this movie and Blade were like my 2 favorite high school action movies to watch. Like those were the 2 kind of top, and they actually are in my top 100 next to each other.
Cool.
In my list.
Is this in your top 100?
This is in my top 100.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us where it's at, or do you not?
I think it's right around 50.
Oh wow, okay.
I think
we're doing a top 100. Hey, that's kind of big, guys. We're doing a top 100.
We're doing a top 100
tonight here.
Yeah,
That doesn't happen
rarity.
often.
This
is a special action movie.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this is Critical Mess. Brian, MC Cullah, Mr. Chris, producer Ben.
Hello.
We're all here.
Did you get your shit fixed?
Yeah, everything
just
all right
now?
over there, Ben?
I was looking up Will Smith movies, and this is his first movie. Like,
First
Yeah,
movie.
basically.
Yeah,
Like,
basically his
his
first.
like,
Yeah.
like real.
He had music videos, and he had Fresh Prince. And
What a
this.
lightning strike with both Will Smith popping off, and then you have the comedy of Lawrence, and then you have the fresh out of music video, genre with Michael Bay. Like, that's wild.
Yeah.
To have all
It was like perfect timing for everything.
early
converged.
mid 90s. Yeah.
Sure.
All of it. Yep.
So, the audiences like this movie, like me, because I'm a man of the people.
That's what they say.
The critics not so much, especially not the top critic. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Brian is the critic of the critics. He's going to do NPR voice tonight. We don't know when. Might be.
We always ask for it.
Might be now. Might not be now. Though.
We'll see.
Okay.
It'll be here. It'll be there for you.
Well, that's all that matters. As long as we get a little bit, just a taste. Ben needs it.
I need your feedback because I always forget. 2 weeks goes by and I forget how I do it. So give me the feedback.
No, you know how to do it.
Yeah. Go slow.
Come on.
Slow your breathing.
I need to actually
your heart
listen to NPR more often. So do we want to talk about the critics now?
Yes.
Is that where we're at?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what we're doing.
You literally just told me to say that, so now I'm going to say it. Critics, they were to 48, and again, their out of 10 was actually pretty good. They were at a 5.3 out of 10. So their out of 10 average was higher than their percentage of the critics who gave it a favorable review. To compare that to the audience was 7.8. So we're looking at a 5.3 and a 7.8. Now, again, with top critics, which those are the critics that matter most, that they're at a 4.2. So almost half of the audience. So a pretty good disparity, I'd say here. Critics did not hate it unanimously. I think critics just were not impressed. And I find that, so Nick, I'm glad that you ranted as long as you did about how much you liked it, because first of all, I think a 94 requires that. And second of all, I actually don't disagree with anything you said. I think all that stuff was pretty true and accurate. I just think that for me, that doesn't get it up super high just on those laurels. And I think for me, when I said unoriginal, I think that to me was the biggest thing that this movie, the biggest sin of this movie. It was just, we've seen buddy cop movies before. We've seen, action movies before. We've got the Lethal Weapon franchise out there happening.
I take a little bit of umbrage with that though, because
Miami Vice.
There is I think this movie did some things in a totally new way. I agree there is some ground retreaded, but I think when it comes to like the way it's shot and the way the two characters interact with each other, it's very, it feels fresh to me.
So you're right. Those things were where it was new, but to me, it's like a paint job on an old car. To me, it's the story.
Sure.
Same story. Just drugs, find them.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
No,
that's
you're not
okay.
wrong.
A movie does
You're
not
not wrong.
have to have a brand new story that we've never heard before. I mean, not every movie is going to be like a Mickey 17 type of movie, but
even that was recycled in some ways. But
sure, yeah. I mean, everything. There's nothing new under the sun, really. But so for me, I think the critics were probably just like not impressed. It's not that they were hating; it's that they were unimpressed. But we'll let you guys. We'll read some of these and see what you guys think. The consensus on Rotten Tomatoes says Bad Boys stars Will Smith and Martin Lawrence have enjoyable chemistry. Unfortunately, director Michael Bay too often drowns it out with set pieces and explosions in place of an actual story. I agree with that a lot. I like explosions, and I love big set pieces, memorable set pieces, but not if they cover up a story. So that's the consensus. We'll see what the individual critics say here. I need to get situated here. Okay.
It's coming out.
There it is.
I can feel the impact.
I can feel it coming in.
No, I actually don't have an NPR on here because this movie's so old. But so Michael Wilmington, Chicago Tribune. Haven't we seen this all before? 4 or 5 dozen times? Has this been done too many times?
In this case, no. I'll be behind Nick on that when it comes to the chemistry between the main characters. Like I said earlier, I think that's what sells this movie. It could have been the most basic plot and the most simple story, and I think they went a little overboard with a lot of things, but it was a classic. Drugs were stolen. They got to go figure out who killed this person, go get the drugs back, save their precinct, or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just strictly that relationship between those two, and that's the main story. I think
the way they argue and turn those arguments into advantages, I think it's just brilliant and a kind of a new. I don't know. I can't think of another time that happened. I mean, it's probably been done before. I don't know.
Unfortunately, I just have to point to the Lethal Weapon franchise and say that I really think that the chemistry between the two guys here was very much informed by that franchise that came first.
Yeah.
I think that in that franchise, you have two guys that are always at each other's necks. And they're arguing all the time, and I think it plays into sort of the same thing you're talking about. It's great, it's fun, but I just think it's been done before. Kenneth Turan, Los Angeles Times. Given how much good Bad Boys is going to do for Martin Lawrence's feature career, it's a pity the film couldn't do any more for itself. Is this just a vehicle for Martin Lawrence?
It did a lot more for Will Smith.
Right.
Yeah, weirdly.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And this person was wrong because clearly they wrote this review in 95.
In 1995.
But again, do you think, because we talked about Martin Lawrence being so big,
Yeah.
do you think that this movie was somewhat just all right, we got Martin Lawrence, we got him signed on, we got the script greenlit. Let's make a movie that is, it's sort of like some movies are like a vehicle for Jim Carrey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this was a vehicle for Martin Lawrence? Now, it may have ended up being more than that, but does that at all strike
I
you guys?
don't feel that way.
No?
I mean, yeah, I think he's overshadowed by Will Smith for sure, and and in some respects, some really good performances from people like Joe Pantoliano.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's the best part of the movie by far. Well, Michael Wilmington, you're wrong. All right, no, sorry. Michael Wilmington, you're right. Kenneth Turan, you're damn it, I mixed up my reviews. Rita Kempley, Washington Post. Bad Boys is relentless formulaic fodder for the explosion-starved. It's loud, shallow, sexist, and a complete waste of time. On a scale of 1 to 10, on the Michael Bay sexistometer, where does this movie fit?
Well, they haven't seen Transformers yet, so I feel like
for you guys, like I'm just asking, because I actually did not think this was as blatantly sexist as some other Michael Bay movies.
That was my joke. I don't
sure,
I don't
sure.
believe so. No.
Wait until they get a load of Megan Fox.
I know. Yeah.
In about 15 years.
Bad Boys 2 was more sexist.
And I like the phrase "explosion starved." I feel like I am that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age where they're all digital. Like,
Give me just blow some shit up.
Give me
Let's
the
go.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, but plain explosion. Come on, man.
How is that more expensive than,
I know, right?
Time consuming,
crazy.
I guess. I don't know.
Crazy. 2 more. Desson Thompson, Washington Post. Even by the low standards of cheap action flicks, this one's bad, boys. Pun. How does it compare purely on an action level to other movies? Purely on an action level, how does this compare to other movies? Nick, you've said this is top 3 action movies of the 90s. That's high praise. What about the rest of the room?
Well, let me say real quick, I do think the action in this movie is not the best part of this movie. I think the action in this movie is good and definitely good enough for the film, but it's not what elevates the film to the 94 that I, know.
Sure.
It's tough. There's a lot of good action films in the 90s. I mean, think of any Bond movie, you got Armageddon, or not Armageddon. Armageddon's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have Independence Day, also Will Smith, but I don't think it touches.
I mean, if you watch movies like Raiders, Last Crusade, Terminator 2,
and then 80s,
True Lies, I mean, that's fucking action. This is like action for kids and whatever, but not done as well as I'd like. And then last one, Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times.
Oh boy.
This movie is so good looking, it deserves a decent screenplay instead of one more loped down memory lane. I don't know what he means, but let me ask you this. How much better would this movie be if more time had been devoted to the screenplay?
I think it could have been drastically better. I mean, the visuals were not that bad. They were they feel 90s now, and they feel very Michael Bay now, but they were
new at the time.
They were so different at the time. They were so much more like not revolutionary, but just so much more bombastic, more exuberant, the colors, the angles, the shots, stuff like that. So it's hard for me to look at that and say, I mean, I think it could have done a lot better. With
I wish it would have. I mean,
Yeah.
I think people see, like I said, it's like a flashbang. People see this and it's like you get blinded and deafened. Like, oh my God, it's, and then it's like, wait, what was the movie about? Some people sold some drugs, and a couple of cops with good chemistry found them, and then there was a girl involved. Like,
and they somehow made
fucking nothing happened.
And
It's
they
like
somehow
it's
made
the
all
classic
that,
villain who's just like, I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to kill you, and we're all going to kill each other.
Yeah.
I just need a sorry, I didn't mean to bang.
And
the
they
table.
somehow muddied it with even more like B, C, D characters that were just thrown in here and there, and
you're never going to get a high score for me in my book if you do a movie where it's just like nothing new. There's no kernel that this movie is. There's no message of this movie that's like special to me.
But that's
or
like every
unique.
Michael Bay movie.
And that's why Michael Bay
literally.
fucking sucks. Like, I'm sorry, but like as a director, he makes movies for kids and movies for people who don't really want movie. He makes movies for people who want to watch movies that just have a vibe, which that's fine.
Yeah.
But they're not going to get high ratings from me. So,
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I didn't let you talk, Nick. I think that the question was how much better would this movie be if more time had been devoted to the screenplay? And I feel like at 94, like probably can't be much better, right?
I feel like
I putting words in your mouth?
I feel like the same way I feel about the action. I feel like the screenplay is plenty good for the movie, but it's not the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
So it could have been better. But I thought it was great for what this film wanted to be and was.
But it could have been better, right?
It could have been a little better.
It could have been a 95.
Could have been a 96.
Yeah. There's your critics,
Is he going to
ladies
raise
and
his score
gents.
today?
Yeah, what's up with the
Off to
the
these audience
reviews
members here. All right, we'll work these down. But a lot of these are just unknowns from the last 10, 15, 20 years or so. 3.5 out of 5. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence showcase great chemistry in Bad Boys, a fun action comedy that has all the action, explosions, that would become a staple in Michael Bay films. Do you think this is one of the staples of Michael Bay?
Totally. I think it's just probably
top.
I mean, this and The Rock, man.
I put Rock well ahead of it.
I'm not going to comment on that because Brian's corner.
Oh, dang.
But
okay.
I love the question. Right. I love that question.
4 out of 5. Great GR8 cop buddy pick good popcorn movie.
Nice. I like the GR8.
Yeah, I like the GR8 too. Great cop buddy pick good popcorn. Okay. 4 out of 5 again. There's a charm in the chemistry between Will Smith and Lawrence that keeps it from being generic cop movie, which I agree. Michael Bay's first outing as a director shows off the technical prowess that will reign true in the films to come, good or bad.
Yeah, good review.
Yeah, great review. Look at these guys. You know? Yeah. 5 out of 5. This is just one of the movies that shows that critics are completely out of touch. I throw those in every so often just for Brian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's just for Brian. This is a super reviewer. No name, though. 2.5 out of 5. These get a little bit more critical. Fans of pre-Terminator Bay are going to love it, and I can see where it succeeds, but personally, Bad Boys makes me kind of uncomfortable. I mean, I guess they're talking about the sexist, racist, random comments throughout. But fans of the pre-Terminator Bay are going to love it?
Don't know what that means, but
I don't know what this movie really makes you uncomfortable. I mean, I can direct you to some much more uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was about to say, this movie does not make me uncomfortable in any way. It makes me actually really comfortable.
Yeah, me too. It's like a warm blanket.
Like when I watch this movie, I'm like, all right, okay,
yeah,
all right. Yeah.
I could rewatch this. This has rewatchability.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very. Max in a name. 5 out of 5. Awesome movie. Really love it. Wee Smith, Martin Lawrence are perfect for this movie. So much fun to watch.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, this movie's right smack dab in the middle of my enjoyable range. So I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yep. I love Wee Smith.
Yeah, Wee Smith is great. 0.5 star. This is an awful film. The script is really bad. Leone and Smith are okay.
Tay
Leone. Yeah. But Lawrence is so annoying that I wanted him to die almost instantly, and feeling only grew throughout the film. How is this guy an actor? Non-stop cringe.
I guess if you're not buying Martin Lawrence, you're gonna hate this film because he is
absolutely.
Martin Lawrence,
Lawrence
to the T in this. But I love Martin Lawrence. He's just hilarious.
How old was he in this movie? He looks like he's 17 years old.
I don't know.
Is it just me or?
I got one. How
is he so big and he looks so young here?
I would be remiss if I didn't make fun of the popcorn people. So I will do that. I have a bunch here. I'm gonna read one. Just one. Okay. Just the one. And guys, I try to give the popcorn people credit. You know, I don't want to be mean to you and I don't want to shit on you. But when you do things like this, it has to be called out. Okay. And I'm here to call you out. Okay, so this doesn't seem this is why you guys are nefarious. You guys sneak stupidity into the internet, and people don't notice that you're sneaking the stupidity in. Here it is.
It's a lot of preamble.
Anonymous,
so
3 out of 5 stars, right? So that's a 6 out of 10. This person gives the movie a 6 out of 10, and this is what they say: screw the critics and go watch it. Besides, this is probably one of the few good Michael Bay films. Okay, I remind you, he gave it a 6 out of 10. What did the critics give this movie? A 5.3 out of 10, which is very close to a 6 out of 10. So he rated this almost identically to what the critics rated it, and then he said, screw the critics. You're a fucking idiot.
I felt like a personal attack.
I was getting some rage out of getting somebody on
that was not NPR voice.
and his phone number and home address is.
Hey,
3344.
He was anonymous. I did not give a name. This is an anonymous reviewer.
But we did find him. No.
Still though, come on. Yeah, come on. Just think before you type.
Martin Lawrence was born in 1965, and this movie came out in 1995.
31.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Gosh, he looks so young.
He looks so young.
Gosh.
All right. This is Critical Mess. We're sponsored by Old Elk, Home Field, but most important, the Ambrosialist.
Ambrosialist.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun season. It's gonna be a
We
fun.
need like a theme song.
I'm about to say, do we have a theme song for the Ambrosians?
No,
Have they released that yet?
Well, there's a new one for the season.
There's a new one for every season.
I heard that
Trent Reznor's doing
Trent
it.
Reznor, Atticus Ross, and then there was some crossover with Ludwig Göransson, the guy who did the Mandalorian soundtrack. I think he did some of the alt themes on
Oscar winner.
Doesn't surprise me.
We might get some of that soon.
Gosh, that'd be awesome.
So now we're gonna flip the script.
We did it.
All right. Gets longer every time. It's the segment where if we gave the film a good review, we talk about what we didn't like and vice versa. So let me just start because I'll be brief. Some of the acting, I think, especially like the sub kind of characters, wasn't great. Like the henchmen.
Mm-hmm.
They were, even for henchmen, they weren't very good.
Yeah.
No.
Those quick bay cuts, can get fatiguing. Those music video cuts, and sometimes you can't tell what the fuck's going on. And that's a little annoying. I think especially like in the last gunfight, I'm like, I can't tell who's shooting at what or what's going on.
The last gunfight was a little hairy, but yeah.
Yeah.
The rest wasn't too bad for me, actually, but I see what you're saying. Yeah.
They made the same gun sound effect every time the gun, no matter what gun it was.
It was
They only had 20 mil to work with.
Hey, it's a low budget Will Smith movie. What are you gonna do? Yeah.
And the last thing I got is, speaking to the script, maybe it could get a little tighter. Act 2 was the kind of the weakest part. Drags a little bit. Kind of the stuff at Mike's apartment and Marcus's house could have been tighter and a little more interesting. That's what I got.
Okay. Since I'm kind of middle of the road, I'm gonna go more negative. I'm gonna try to fight for this movie a little bit more.
Wait, so
I'm gonna try to fight to make it better.
You're flipping positive.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip positive.
I'm gonna do the same.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to flip positive. I think obviously the chemistry between these two is just unbelievable. I really do. The more I think about it, the more funny it is. I believe Lawrence is that person, and I think he just kind of played right into it. I guess they did a lot of ad lib. A lot of this stuff was just their chemistry naturally, because they were stand-up comics essentially. They were both comedy backgrounds, so I think it's great. And then positive. I mean, I really do think visually it is interesting. I think the way Bay shot this, like the neon lights, the crazy colors, outside of the opening scene, I think most of the movie had like this deep, dirty Miami vibe to it. Mm-hmm. And so I can believe it. I think it was great. Sets were all over the place, but they were huge. They were beautiful. So I can get behind that. They could have cut some characters out, but the ones that were on screen the most were really killing it. I think they could have, just driven more into them. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I mean, I technically gave this barely a negative score at a 48. So, and I did enjoy it. So I've been kind of saying some negative things about it just to kind of balance out Nick's positivity. So I will flip positive and say what I liked about this movie. I liked a lot of things about the movie, but the biggest thing I liked was Martin Lawrence is so funny. And especially when Martin Lawrence is in trouble, when he is in trouble with his wife, I just can't get enough of that.
It's great.
When he's like, no, because I mean, nah.
Teresa!
It's like he starts saying like 50 different sentences and never stops. And it's just funny. And then I think, again, the movie has I had this in my flip script when he said this before. The movie has a good pace. It moves along very well, and it's exciting. And then I got to give 5 points for the main character, Tia Leone, calling out that meat is just dead flesh. Man, you guys, that spoke to me. When she was chastising them for eating meat and calling it dead flesh, I was like, fuck yes. 5 points at least for that. So
it's also bologna, which is especially disgusting.
Well, yes, but it's any meat. So good job. Good job, vegetarian. Any vegan or vegetarian main character, 5 points. Boom.
Okay.
Good or bad?
All right.
Nailed it.
All right. Time for a new segment, our newest segment, our second most fun segment. It's called Marky Mess.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
All right. I got a few. Who's got it?
I'm going to apologize in advance for my marquee mess.
I got
Are they not
very
very
little.
No, they're great.
Oh, no, I got very
Why are you
little.
apologizing?
Because they're stupid.
Let me read a couple for you then, because I got
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Who wants to start? I'll start. The heroin.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay. Not as bad as I remember. That was my title.
That was the title?
Yeah. You like that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I had.
I kind of like this one. To protect and swerve.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that's good.
I had Shogun, but it's SHOWGUN. because there's 98 million guns in this movie.
Yeah.
A lot of guns.
Rock out with your Glock out.
Chris, you have one?
No.
Okay, I got one.
Very few.
Here's a good title for this. Gonna go get my gun, gangsta.
In that tone.
How do you spell that? I'm just kidding.
Mike Lowrey : on booty patrol. You guys ever have the Lowrey seasoning?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's Lowrey season.
Nice.
Okay. Mine are a little softer.
That's fine. We got yin yang going.
Lowrey in order.
That's good.
That's good.
I think this would have been a cool name for the film. Heat Seekers.
Heat Seekers.
Heat?
Or Heat Seekers. Because it could have been called Miami Heat.
Yeah,
I did have Miami Heat, but I didn't want to say it
But
out
then
loud.
I thought, that's a basketball team. So I went with Heat Seekers.
Heat.
Okay, play the sound effect, Ben.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Everybody, take a deep breath. We're going to talk about our sponsor. We're sponsored by Homefield, who makes the best fucking socks, but also other stuff I hear.
Yes.
Apparel.
Like what Grizz and Brian are wearing.
I'm wearing.
What we're wearing right now?
I'm wearing. I don't know. U of M,
UMass.
Missouri,
Very soft.
Massachusetts.
Very
Okay.
comfortable.
And then
Just the one.
It's not about the school. It's about the
UCLA
comfort.
Bruins.
Yeah, UCLA Bruins.
Yeah.
Now, I only have one pair of Homefield socks. How did you get multiples?
Yeah, I only got
it.
one.
I have a
I
connection.
gave them to you guys.
I need to get more of
I
those.
have a
Yeah,
connection.
I have one pair. How
So
do you get
guys-
all these?
I have a connection.
Oh.
I got a plug.
Wow.
Okay.
Jealous you plug.
So we're also sponsored by the Ambrosialist. That's 9/8 Central this fall on NBC now. It's Zachary Quinto. It's Anna Kendrick. Well, we think she's going to get worked into the new season, but I think you know the drill by now. Ambrosialist, he's headed to England for, fish, chips, and fucking football. Can you name the film? England.
Is that
Fish,
Snatch?
chips,
That's Snatch.
and fucking football.
Danny Farina says that, right?
Dennis Farina.
Dennis Farina.
Yes.
Dennis, not Danny.
But all you get all the credit.
That's a
though.
great.
Good.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch this.
Good
Such a good
credit.
Snatch is so good.
He's hunting down Jack the Ripper.
The movie.
You know by now.
But also,
I thought you said statue is so good. Anyway, I'm confused. Yeah, go for it. What?
No, sorry. So you know by now that Zachary Quinto, who's the Ambrosialist, and Ted Danson, who's weirdly just named Ted Danson in the show, they're headed to 19th century England to track down. No one liked that Ted Danson joke. I thought that was pretty funny.
I liked it.
That was good.
That's good.
That was
Okay. Sorry, I worked a lot on that one. And I didn't even get
Was that part also in your joke to get more laughs from us?
No, I can improvise when I need to. But dare I say it? I'm going to reveal what I think the twist might be. We don't actually
Come
have
on, man.
inside intel on the. No, I don't
la, la.
know this. I don't know this. Here's what I think is going to happen, though. They're hunting Jack the Ripper, right? I think they're going to put him in the time machine and bring him back to modern times to be prosecuted by the law.
And maybe he
in
escapes,
2025.
and he's like an old time Jack the Ripper,
Yes.
terrorizing
It's
modern
like Lost
times.
World, Jurassic Park.
It's reverse.
Yeah.
Right.
Double reverse, Uno reverse.
But he's using like 19th century technology, so he's just caught
so he
instantly.
just gets caught immediately.
He doesn't understand DNA. He doesn't. He's never heard of it.
Camera,
Yeah.
CCTV footage. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow.
God, what an idiot.
Anyhow.
That'd be a terrible twist. Do you think that's going to happen?
No, I think it's a good twist.
You think so?
I think the writers might steal it. All right. Anyway, okay, we're gonna move on to Tharks. That's the segment where we very, very, very quickly talk about themes and arcs. Oh, Brian, I have some things to say here.
Go for it. This is
Okay.
not my segment.
Can I just run through the whole thing?
Please,
Oh,
take
yes.
it over.
Okay,
Take
yeah,
it
yeah.
over, my friend.
I'll be fast too, or it's already taking
Hey,
too long.
I never asked to be
we're
the guy.
already taking too long.
You're Mr. Themes and Arcs. What are you talking about?
Okay,
Senor
Mike Lowrey.
Themes.
Mike Lowrey. He no longer wants to shoot the bad guys at the end. He does anyway, but he doesn't want to. Marcus's wife, she comes around and trusts him after she gets shot at. Marcus, he gains confidence and gusto. Julie, she becomes bolder and more resourceful.
Mm-hmm.
So some things are arcing.
Yeah, she sure does arc. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I got.
So those are really good arcs. I just had a couple of themes, and I actually really liked these themes. And if we weren't locked at a 48, I might increase my score by 1 point for each of these. But we'll just leave it live.
If you raise yours, I'm going to raise
we'll
mine.
leave- okay, well, we're locked
I have
together.
plenty of reasons to raise it.
We're in this
raise.
together.
You're in a tandem bicycle. Just
Yes.
I just don't know if I can get to 55 from Bad Boys 2. I don't think I can get to that point.
No, we're not going all the way up there.
Try.
But I mean,
I left myself room, but I
put this
don't
way: I've got an open mind and an open heart. So if you guys want to try to get me to a 55, I'm game. But I really like Will Smith representing the bachelor freedom lifestyle and Martin Lawrence representing the safe but tied down
That's
lifestyle.
Interesting. I didn't really think of that, but it's obvious. But
it's very much Lethal Weapon. You know, Mel Gibson is like he can do whatever he wants, and Danny Glover's like the family man, right? But again, just because that existed before this doesn't mean this isn't good, and I like that. So I think the two different paths of life, right? There's kind of two different paths: the freedom path or the safety path, right? And they both have pros and cons. I like how that's represented here because it's talked about a lot on screen. And then kind of cops breaking the law as a means to justify an end. I think that's kind of a moral gray area. And like, they do a lot of shit here that, you're kind of not allowed to do, but like they do it for the right reasons. And so like who polices the police kind of thing, like what are you allowed to do as police? And I think that's a strong theme here. So two pretty strong themes here.
Yeah, great.
Those are pretty good. Okay, I think you got to bump up about 52.
Let's go 49. You going to go 49 with me? Or we're going to go 49?
We're going to start
What do you
somewhere.
think? 49?
If I put a single point up on this movie, I'm going to equal parts put it up for 2. So if I'm going to go 49 here, I'm going to go 56 for Bad Boys.
Let's
2.
go down to a 47, and then we'll go up to a 49 later. I'm just kidding.
It's over. Segment's over.
Segment's over.
Okay, we're done. Now we're going to a place with a song.
Sorry, different.
Where could we be going?
Sorry.
Hey everybody, welcome to Brian's Corner. I promise I'm not going to channel.
Oh, fuck, a bracket.
No, it's not a bracket. I promise I'm not going to channel my inner Will Smith and try to talk like him in this segment. It didn't go over well, apparently. And that scene might be cut. You might have no idea what I'm talking about.
Immediate reviews
I just thought I was quoting Will Smith, but apparently people in the room were uncomfortable. But this is going to be called Brian's Corner, top of their game, right? I want to talk about. There's a lot of people in this movie who may or may not have been at the top of their game, and I want to kind of maybe put forth each person's Mount Rushmore of things, and I want to see, is this better or are those better, right? So we'll start. There's just a couple here. We'll start with Martin Lawrence. I'm going to read off 4 things that he is kind of most well known for, and I want you to say, was Bad Boys better or was one of these better? And then if I left one off, shout it out, right? So Martin Lawrence, Bad Boys 2, right? I think Bad Boys 2 was the bigger movie. He's more well known by that point, right? So you got Bad Boys 2, Blue Streak. I think Blue Streak is a big Martin Lawrence
saw that
movie.
in the theater 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
I knew that would speak to you. I remember you saying you were a big Blue Streak guy. Yeah.
I've probably seen that. That's like in the top 10 of like movies I've seen the most. And
okay.
I don't know why.
Same.
It just is. It just is.
I'm gonna say Big Mama's House. Okay, I'm gonna put Big Mama's House out there. Yeah. It was big. It was huge. It cleaned up at the box office.
It was Mama's House.
And it was purely billed. It was a pure Martin Lawrence billing. It was 100% Martin Lawrence vehicle. And then Martin. The TV show Martin, right?
Oh,
so we got Bad Boys 2, Blue Streak, Big Mama's House, and Martin. That's the Mount Rushmore of Martin Lawrence. Would you put Bad Boys above any of those?
I mean, I think it's the best thing he's ever done. So yes.
Okay, there you go. Yeah,
that's hard. I mean, Big Mama's House. That's my kids love that movie. They think it's hilarious. Blue Streak, I remember seeing on repeat on all kinds of different.
It was
TNT,
just on
USA.
It was on every network.
Every network.
Yeah, great movie.
Don't remember the show very much. I mean, that's hard. I think.
It was huge.
The show was huge.
Martin was
it was like Fox's big show for a minute.
And it ran for like 5 years.
I think Big Mama's House, for me at least personally, was much bigger than this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're not really like arriving at an answer here. We're just talking about where are these people at in their careers. What next? Will Smith. We'll go Will Smith. I'm kind of ranking this in like billing order, right? Mm-hmm. Will Smith, Independence Day, huge, right? Mm-hmm. I Am Legend. That's a big Will Smith vehicle. Men in Black was very big for Will Smith. And then Fresh Prince, his show, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, was big. I don't think there's anything that was more financially successful and popular than those 4 movies. I didn't include Bad Boys 2 because I had already included that from Martin Lawrence. But do you think, so Bad Boys, does that belong on this list instead of one of those 4?
I mean
Independence Day, I Am Legend, Men in Black, Fresh Prince.
I mean, this kicked it all off, but Men in Black was a big one for me.
Yeah, what's Will Smith's moment? Do you think it's Independence Day?
For me, it's this, but you could say Men in Black or Independence Day.
I say Men in Black.
Maybe that's the question we should ask. What's their biggest moment, right?
You wouldn't be wrong. I mean, Men in Black is.
I think Independence Day.
I remember being just
a little bit. I mean, they're all good answers.
I think Independence Day, Men in Black is like right here.
And I want to say I'm a huge Fresh Prince guy.
I am too.
That was always watching.
I'll still watch Fresh Prince.
Carlton is so.
Carlton is probably the best part of the show. and Uncle Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the episode where
They're all good.
Remember the episode where Uncle Phil takes on the pool hustler?
Oh
yes.
so
Yeah.
great.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
And he's
what
like,
was the name of his pool stick?
yeah, it's like Will gets hustled by this pool shark. Lucille.
Lucille,
is the
that's
name.
right.
That's the name. He's like, Jeffrey, get Lucille.
Bust out Lucille.
right.
Yeah, he
The
said, bust
montage
out Lucille.
starts.
But he hustles him in the first place. Like he kind of doesn't he lose?
No,
he
he
pretends
misses and,
like,
like,
he loses
yeah,
a couple
he
games. He
loses.
pretends
Yeah.
like he sucks at pool, and then
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
Jeffrey, get Lucille.
Yeah, he hustles. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What a
good.
great show.
All right, let's move on to Téa Leoni. What's her biggest thing, right? So we got Bad Boys here, was pretty big, kind of launched her. She was big in Fun with Dick and Jane. Do you guys remember Fun with Dick and Jane?
Oh, yeah.
Jim Carrey, right? She's the
Yeah.
co-lead with Jim Carrey. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
The Family Man. You guys seen The Family Man? Nick Cage.
Yep.
No.
Great movie.
Yeah, it's a very good movie, actually.
very good movie.
This was right in that era where she was kind of on the map. Deep Impact.
You're right. Yeah.
Deep Impact for me was her biggest.
Morgan
biggest
Freeman,
outing.
right?
Yeah, Morgan Freeman. I feel like she kind of carried that movie pretty well.
I think Bad Boys is her for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me too.
She's
And then
so
I'm
hot
gonna
in this
throw
movie.
Spanglish on.
Yeah,
there.
her jet black short hair with that bright red lipstick and
And the
like
blue
her
eyes, her
attitude. Yeah,
super blue
it's
eyes.
just like piercing. Yeah.
What about Spanglish? Have you guys seen Spanglish? With
Yes.
yes.
Love
Yeah,
that.
it's
I've never
good.
seen it.
It's
so
good.
that's a lot. So she's
done some good stuff.
She's been with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. She's been with Jim Carrey, Nick Cage, Adam Sandler, Spanglish, right? Not Adam Sandler. She's been up there neck and neck with the biggest actors. So
Yeah. She's also been with David Duchovny.
Yeah.
she has. And when I said been with, I didn't mean been with. I meant been billed with. But
Sure, right.
yeah.
Sure. We got you.
Let's go Joey Pants, Joe Pantoliano, right? So he's got some bangers. This guy, I feel like he's got a good age.
He's R.I.P. right? I think he died.
No, did he?
Ben, can you?
I'll get on it.
Producer
Joey
Ben will
Pants
confirm
die?
for us.
I feel like
Oh no,
he did. Yeah.
Oh, well, I should have put a
RIP?
picture, a headshot of him. But anyway, yeah, I feel like when he does movies, they're big, right? He doesn't have a bunch
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like
yeah. He's in some good-
obscure movies. Like he's got some important movies.
Ben, am I crazy?
Hey, he is not dead.
Not dead.
Oh,
I'm about to
fuck.
say,
Sorry. I'm
he's
so
70
sorry, Joe.
He was just in the latest.
I don't know who I'm
I know
thinking
why.
of.
I know why you thought this because
Why?
they killed him in Bad Boys 4,
Oh, maybe.
and the
They
promo
did.
was.
I don't
in
know
the
why
trailer.
I thought I'm obviously
Yeah.
thinking of somebody else. Joe, I hope you're in good health.
Joe, you're still doing great.
Dude, he's not even that old. He's like 59
No, I know.
or
I know.
73.
Obviously, I
Shit, he is old.
He is old.
I mean, sorry, 73 is not old. If you're a 73,
look great for a
if you're a
73-year-old.
73-year-old gentleman watching us, or woman, or anyone else,
he's in
You're
great
not old.
health. I'm so sorry, Joe.
You
I hope
are
have
you are
another-
in the drop dead age.
He's
could-
about 10 years past
but you
that.
you also could have another 25.
Yeah,
so
you
let's
could.
let's talk about Joe Pantoliano's amazing movies here. So you have The Matrix.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No question, Matrix.
Oh.
No.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Oh no.
Has it been that long since
There
I've
it
made a
is.
Matrix
Yeah, it
reference to
really
where you don't
has.
even know
It's
where
been a
the button
while.
is?
I said it out loud.
Cypher on The Matrix, great fucking villain.
He's great.
Kills it.
Yeah, he's great.
Also in Sopranos.
Yeah, he's in Sopranos. I didn't include
very
that
good
one.
in
He's
Sopranos.
very good in it, but I didn't include it because I don't feel like that was like one of his best things. But I'll say The Fugitive is my even though
I always forget he's in that.
with my
Wow,
love for
yeah.
The Matrix, he's in The Fugitive and The Matrix.
Yeah.
This
What
motherfucker
a beast.
is in 2 of my top 5 favorite movies of all
Yeah,
time.
what a-
He's a
yeah.
special man to me. He's special. He's so funny in The Fugitive.
He
He's one of
spoke
the
at your
best.
wedding, right?
Huh?
He spoke at your wedding.
He spoke at my wedding. He's the godfather to 2 or 3 of my children, and he's
He
so
doesn't
great.
know it, but he is.
He's so funny. He's so funny, but he's such a great actor. So he's great in The Fugitive. So yeah, The Matrix, The Fugitive, Bad Boys 2. I'm including that again because I feel like they really upped the rage of Joe Pantoliano in Bad Boys 2. Do you guys feel the same? That that played into his rage.
I'm gonna have so much brass up my ass.
Yeah.
Go to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Star
yeah.
Spangled
Yeah.
Spangled
And he got
fucking
more
banner.
intense every movie.
Yeah. He got more intense, and I think Bad Boys 2 was great. And then Memento. You guys remember Memento?
Oh,
He was
yeah.
really
Yeah,
good in
yeah.
Memento.
Really overrated movie, but yeah.
So where would you put Chris Nolan? Yeah. Where would you put? Where's Joey Pants' best? Where is he at his best?
His best would probably be U.S. Marshals for me.
Oh, one of the ones not on the list.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not-
Okay.
That
no,
one actually.
that's fine.
Personally, I remember seeing that movie the most when I was growing up because I missed Fugitive by a number of years. And so U.S. Marshals came out, and I was like, "Oh, this is fucking awesome!" Wesley Snipes, and you had this whole cast of goofy and it's got Tommy Lee Jones, and I was all hyped about it. And then I saw Fugitive, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it." So I don't know though. Matrix, like his one speech eating that steak
It's so
Yeah.
good.
for me
Oh, it's so
alone.
So good. Yeah, you
puts
might have
him
convinced me it's the
at Matrix, and I can't be convinced any otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I figured out where my wires crossed.
Mhm.
we were talking about Dennis Farina.
Is he dead?
He's dead.
Oh, yeah, he's an older
that?
gentleman.
Yeah, from Snatch.
He's the guy from
We were
Snatch.
I
Oh,
quoted
gotcha.
him earlier.
Oh yeah.
Got it.
Yes. And so anyways, that's what happened. Joe, I'm glad you're alive.
What's your where are you at with Joe Pantoliano? What's your where is he at his peak? We got the Matrix,
Man.
Fugitive, Bad Boys 2, Memento, and then Bad Boys. Where would you
I love him as just the police chief.
Thank you.
It's incredible. I don't know. That and the Matrix are both so good. He's such a great. He's so great. He's amazing.
Dorothy.
He's like he's almost like a.
I mean, he's our second
He's
Matrix
literally
soundbite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. He's just great. I almost feel like he's like now just bear with me here for a second. He's kind of like a lesser level of sort of like a Gary Oldman. Like someone who's just a great actor who can really immerse in any kind of, role that requires sort of like dumpy middle-aged white guy, and just kill it.
Yeah, because like Gary Oldman, I know Gary Oldman probably has more film credits,
and he's usually a bigger part in the film.
Sure, but like Joe Pantoliano, I don't think he's ever been like top billing on a movie or like carried a movie.
I don't think so.
And Gary Oldman typically is the same. He's also a character actor, but I think just like Gary Oldman, Joe kind of steals a scene when he's in it.
Yeah,
so
that's
Oldman.
a good way to put. Yeah, I think that's right. That's right.
Good. I'm glad we talked about that one for a lot. I've got a couple more here. I want to talk about Michael Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Michael Bay where he's at? And you asked this question earlier, and I said Brian's Corner was where I wanted to hash it out. But I think now Michael Bay, you could generate a bunch of different lists of 4 things here. But my list was Bad Boys 2, Transformers, Armageddon, and The Rock. Those are his biggest financially successful and popular sort of forays or projects. Where is he the biggest? Where is he the most Michael Bay? When you think of Michael Bay, where do you go?
So this Bad Boys and The Rock are S tier.
Okay. Ooh, let's tier list this.
Yeah, S tier, baby.
Yeah, and I think
Armageddon, Transformers, and Bad Boys 2. Where's your tiers on those?
Yeah, Bad Boys 2 A tier, and the other 2 are B tier.
B tier. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Where's Michael Bay for you? Transformers at all?
I honestly, what's funny about Transformers is people shit on those movies a lot, but I think that might be the best example or the best use of his skill set and his specific visual look.
I think that was the perfect match of a screenplay and subject matter for his style.
And I think that's why I think those are top tier for me when it comes to Michael Bay. Weirdly enough, I know Armageddon is big. Rock, I'm a huge fan of that movie. But for some odd reason, Transformers just has my heart with Michael Bay when it comes to that. And we were talking about earlier, but his like big respect for filmmaking. Whenever I watched an interview, because a lot of people are like, oh, he's a sexist idiot, like whatever, how he puts things into movies. But he put, I think, like $30K plus into that last ending scene of his own money, so they could get more into it
on this movie.
On Bad Boys.
On this movie, okay.
So they on Bad Boys, so he wanted to have more into it, so he just threw extra money at it so he could get more done with it. And I think he does have.
I actually have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, and I think that's cool. Like massive because he's willing to do anything. And whenever I watch interviews with him, he like truly cares about cinema and like the experience, and like the fans and
he
people
gets
that are going
shit
to
on a lot. But
he does,
yeah.
And it's tough because like he gave it all in that, that last bit.
And also he puts himself out there, and when you put yourself out there, you're going to be a target. And so kudos to him for doing that and not caring. I'll say for me, the best Michael Bay thing is The Rock for me. But I feel like it wasn't like Michael Bay's The Rock, right? It was like after The Rock, then you had Michael Bay's Armageddon, right? So for me, Armageddon, where it was like, we're all seeing this because it's Michael Bay.
He became a selling point.
Yeah, it was like
he
you
was
had
not
his
a selling
name.
point before
that was when you started seeing the press tours and the directors were on the press tours with the actors.
I think that's why it did so big. Interesting. We have Armageddon and Deep Impact both talked about tonight, guys. That's an interesting, both media.
I feel we're overdue for an asteroid movie. Come on, we need one.
It's time.
Yeah.
A couple more here. Jerry Bruckheimer. Let's talk about Jerry Bruckheimer movies, right? So we got Pirates
and Don Simpson.
He's second. He's next.
Oh,
he's next. So Pirates of the Caribbean is Jerry Bruckheimer to a T, right? National Treasure, that series, huge series, Jerry Bruckheimer produced. The Rock. So talk about The Rock, Jerry Bruckheimer. And then CSI was huge. I don't know if you guys know much.
I love CSI.
There was a something's huge when there's a pinball machine created, and there is a CSI pinball machine. So where would you put where is Jerry Bruckheimer the most Jerry Bruckheimer? I mean, I know he did a lot of more things than those 4, but those are his biggest things.
Yeah, I mean, Top Gun is always, it's just hard to deny.
That's on the Don Simpson list for me.
Yeah. That's
Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Val.
yeah.
R.I.P. man.
R.I.P. buddy.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Val Kilmer.
Love
Yeah.
Val Kilmer.
I watched Tombstone with a bunch of my neighbors
Did you?
over the weekend.
Is that
And it
one of the
was
most
so
rewatchable
good.
films of all time?
You know
I
what?
need to rewatch that.
I'll tell you what.
Nothing about it's bad.
I rewatched that. Yes, there's one thing bad.
No.
The woman,
ending?
the girl, the girl that he goes and
Well,
elopes with.
you've said on the podcast that it's the ending.
I think you have.
Yeah, the girl,
Yeah.
the ending, the girl. She ruins the whole movie. But I will say this:
Let's
you
just
guys
ruin the whole
listen.
movie.
Go back and watch Tombstone. I'm gonna do you a favor.
Yeah,
Okay?
watch it.
Cut it off.
Are you ready
2
for
hours and
this?
6
Are you ready for
minutes.
this? Because I'm sorry, I'm talking over
No,
you
no.
because I'm very passionate.
No, me too. I've got the passion.
I got to say one thing real quick.
Yeah.
Go back and watch Tombstone, right? And there's so much in it, but ready? I'm just going to say 2 names, and I want you to go back and watch Tombstone, and you're going to come back and thank me. Creek Johnson and Texas Jack. Okay? I know you probably don't know who I'm talking about. Go back and watch it. Remember those 2 names. Watch the movie all the way through. Those 2 guys are going to fucking blow your mind.
I want to say something else about Tombstone that I just learned that just also blew me away. So the Alamo shootout scene is extremely historically accurate, down to the words that are said,
I
down
didn't
to
know
who
that.
down to who gets shot and how, down to like it's super detail oriented. Like everything that happens in that scene is like to a T how the eyewitness accounts reported it.
Cool.
So
I
it's a
just gained more respect for the movie now.
Very get to fighting or get to shooting.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
guess I just
It's
assumed that was all made up.
No,
so it's cool to
not
know
made
that
up.
that's
It's
based
not
on
made
something.
up. Yeah, they really tried to recreate that scene with the utmost authenticity.
I mean, I
which is
watched that in the mid
really
90s, and so I need to rewatch it.
Oh, you have to.
It's
Dude,
so good. It's in my top 100.
Dude,
Yeah, I know.
same.
So it's on my rewatch list.
It's in
from
my
you
top
guys.
20, I think. Michael Bean as Johnny Ringo and our
He's so
friend
great.
Val
He's so
Kilmer
good.
as Doc Holliday. Those 2 guys head to head. That's the answer to a future icebreaker about who's the best
And what's his name?
matchup
Michael
ever.
Bean. That's his name.
Michael Bean, yeah.
So apparently that guy, like, I just saw something about him too. Like he hated Hollywood and like hated being part of like the kind of like he was like a very serious actor, like someone who like really took the craft extremely seriously and hated fame. And like he was apparently like lined up to do some. I wish I could remember the details. This is like a Reddit post, but he was lined up to be like in some big movies with some big directors.
And he said no because he didn't want to be famous, maybe?
I think that was like part of it, but he also just kind of like he just was very driven by the craft. Like that's really what he was.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Just more laud to Tombstone there. Yeah.
Yeah, great film.
Yeah.
That's a little Tombstone right there.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean,
love
we
that.
had to. I mean, we've got Val Kilmer over here.
Yeah.
And Doc Holliday was one of his best performances ever. And so, he's going to be missed.
And we're on to Big Don Cocaine Simpson.
Don Simpson. For him,
Donnie.
his big deals I've got here. He's done so much because he's a producer, but I've got Beverly Hills Cop. Huge movie. Days of Thunder. Pretty big. Top Gun. And Crimson Tide.
Well, we know how you feel about that film.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
what
Beverly
do you
Hills
think,
Cop,
guys?
man. That's one. That's
That's
another
a Mount Rushmore.
Woo.
I mean, that guy
What a
was
film.
successful.
What a
That
set
was-
of movies.
yeah.
He was
That
high
guy-
on cocaine
Please
and successful.
read the Wikipedia article.
I'm going to.
That guy liked drugs.
I'm gonna
a
go
lot.
Beverly Hills.
I don't blame him.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a sleeper. That sleeper
Yeah,
right
that's a-
answer.
that's
Yeah,
an underrated
I
one
might.
right
Yeah,
there.
that's such a
Yeah.
great movie. Yeah.
And then finally, a little zag here at the end. Mark Mancina did our score here, right?
Okay.
Mark Mancina had some pretty cool '90s action scores, and
Yeah,
I
he
want to
did.
see where did he shine here. Listen to these 4 movies.
Yeah,
the
I'm
first
ready.
one's not as memorable as the other ones, but a great movie. Training Day,
Ooh. Yeah.
Twister,
Okay.
Speed,
Speed.
Wow.
and this is another zag on top of a zag. It zags all the way down. Moana. This guy did
Wow.
Moana, which is one of the most successful movie soundtracks of all time, and that movie is one of the most successful movies of all time because of its soundtrack. And he did Moana. Like I had no idea that Mark Mancina
Well,
did.
who was the
he
other
did.
guy?
By the way, Mark Mancina is the composer of the score of this movie.
But I thought
he did.
Lin-Manuel Miranda did
Lin-Manuel Miranda did
Moana.
Moana.
So Lin-Manuel
But
Miranda did.
he
did the songs
he did
for
the,
Moana, which
he did the
actually
song-
okay.
songwriting.
That's the reason it's so popular is
Yeah.
because of the songs.
Yeah,
but
but
he
he
is
did the-
credited as the
yeah,
composer
music.
and probably got paid a
Okay.
shit ton of money for that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Where are you guys going with Speed, Twister,
Great,
Training Day, and
great
Moana?
music and speed. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just-
so-
I-
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You know what's funny is he got this because of Speed. I read that.
Oh,
and so
I
he
can see
got
that.
because he did so well with that.
Speed was
they were like-
93, yeah.
and they had a hard time trying to transition because they had the same vibe, the same look and the speediness of it. And can't top Speed's soundtrack. So I'm going to go Speed.
soundtrack.
And I think that's what's hard.
Very
And
good.
then when I
agree.
heard this movie starting, I was like, is that? I thought it was the Speed soundtrack at first. And I was like, oh, it just started that same way. And then it went its own. But yeah, I got to go Speed.
Yeah,
man.
I think I agree with you. I think Speed, yeah. So there we go. We've talked about the people who made this movie and what the cool stuff that they made, the best stuff they ever made was. Thank you for joining me, Brian's Corner.
All right, this is Hot Pocket. Hot Pocket. It's the segment where we talk about all the random shit that we haven't talked about yet. Or maybe we already did talk about it. When we talk about it some more. Okay, guys. So we got a treat for you tonight. We're going to start with sort of discontinued or limited edition flavors of Hot Pocket. Okay? And we're going to start kind of simple, but kind of fun with Pizza Supreme. I don't know quite what makes it supreme. I'm going to guess there's a lot of toppings. What do we think? There's probably sausage, green pepper.
Black olives?
Probably.
For me, Supreme was 4 things. It was sausage, pepperoni, green pepper, and olive.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
Those are the 4. And then onion maybe is a fifth.
Yes. Onion.
To me,
Maybe
that's a Supreme. We're getting into with a Supreme.
So in this Supreme, I want to talk about just the first couple seconds of this film. Sections of this film. That opening guitar riff.
Hey, that's what you were talking about.
That's what I was talking about. I was like, Speed, the
And
vibes.
the way they just play it over the Columbia logo. Like it doesn't even show, before the movie even
Let's talk about that for a second.
I think that is so cool.
Do you love whenever a movie, the classic like movie studio logo, it discards the traditional music and lets the soundtrack play through? What's the licensing for that? What's the deal with that?
But it's always awesome.
I love it. I love it because it's like you're like, oh fuck, I'm in for a ride right now. Like we're starting already.
Yeah,
the Warner Brothers logo's up, but the movie's already started somehow.
It's such a tone setter.
Great,
we're in. I love it. All right. Now, we're going Philly cheesesteak, which I don't think is limited edition or discontinued, but this one's got the sauteed peppers. Okay.
Okay.
So, and I want to move into just talking about how this is, this movie is so Miami. This movie, we've talked about how movies are, this movie is so New York, or this movie is so LA.
Yeah.
This movie feels super Miami, and it does it, and to me, it does it really well. And I think that, that probably adds to this film a little bit, just the way they capture the Miami vibe so well. Did you guys feel that? Or?
It does. There's a specific movie scene in the movie early on where there's like a telephoto lens, and they're driving the car across a bridge towards the camera, and there's this huge cruise ship that's like going by in the background, and I was like, that's great. That's a great shot. They had to time that perfectly.
Yeah.
What's your most Miami movie?
Ooh.
I mean, what's better than this?
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Scarface?
That's a good one.
That's
probably
good.
a better
Yeah,
than
that's
this.
the
Yeah,
answer.
that's better.
What
Yeah.
were we just, we did an episode on this. Blow, right? Did we do Blow?
Blow?
I don't know if I'd call that a Miami movie.
Yeah, if
though.
it-
Blow
Oh.
they're kind of
Went back and
globetrotting, but
forth,
it's a Miami movie, but it's
They
kind
went
of
Florida and then they went
My
back
answer is Grand Theft Auto 3.
Miami
City,
Vice.
baby.
the Vice vibes. Yeah.
All right. You know they did a chicken and waffles?
No, they
That
didn't.
sounds
They
What?
did.
You made that up.
They didn't. I didn't make
Why
it
is
well.
it discontinued?
That
Who
sounds
discontinued
so
that?
It's some absolute
You can get some on eBay.
monster.
Morons.
That's
Yeah.
so delicious, just in every way.
I know. I want to talk the opening scene. And this one's going to take just a moment to unpack. It's one of the strongest scenes in the film for me.
Loved this opening.
And I told you guys that I kind of always kind of equate this movie with Blade because I kind of just love both of these movies kind of at the same time so much, and both have such good openings. And honestly, I don't know which one is better, the Blood Rave or this. I mean, this one is a little more concise.
I'm sorry, the Blood Rage.
They're both great.
Sorry,
They're both great.
Blood Rave.
Blood Rave's
Are you
better.
kidding me?
Yeah,
we
don't you
talked. We
dare.
talked
How
about
dare you?
what we would want to be a part of, and it was the Blood Rave.
I think not to step on your toes here, but I think that Bad Boys probably more character development happens in the first scene here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Blade is like just in every way a perfectly shot like opener, and so like how do you compare the two? It's hard to do.
It's tough. I don't know. But it's probably Blade.
Yeah,
They're both just so
but
good.
this one's
though. And
really
the,
really good.
The turn, because you don't know these characters yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And the turn
it tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, it's kind of a show
it
don't
does.
tell, to be honest.
It is
in the beginning of this.
And the turn it takes, kind of, they're kind of arguing. They have this sort of petty argument about like fast food and dropping the fries in the seat.
You get all the
and
stuff
it's-
about the trust fund and everything. You get so much
the
jam packed into
Porsche.
that.
You talk about him being married, and he's like, "This is the only minimum I get," and he was like, "Oh."
And kind of that petty arguing, the way that they leverage that as an advantage over the robbers. You know, it's just it's so smart and interesting, and it also establishes that amazing chemistry we've talked about. That they're like such on the same page that they're like able to like put on this facade where they're like having this ridiculous argument, but then at the same time they're gonna kind of like, you know, just whoop these guys' asses and get out of the situation. It's I just think it's so fucking
It's
great.
good.
And
It's
just,
good.
you know, Wesley Snipes, Passenger 57, give me a motherfucking handy wipe. I mean, I probably watched that 1,000 times.
Yeah.
You know, it's so good.
That's what's great is like the music plus that combo and their characters building up. And I think that was awesome. But that's where I was talking to you about like earlier is just like how this movie started with like a big bang. I was like, oh, I'm really invested. And then it just got boring after that. I just wasn't sold on any of the story. That felt more fun. I would rather see them just patrolling for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, because they kind of were apart for a lot of the movie. They kind of both, like Will Smith went and did his thing, and then Martin Lawrence went and did his thing, and for a while they kind of weren't together. So, but can we? I hate to keep harping on the beginning of this movie, but can we even go back a little bit more?
Yeah.
And remember how when that sort of you talked about like the music comes in over the studio stuff, and then like what's the next thing you see? You see a city skyline, yeah, and like you see a bunch of shots of that skyline, and I love that. I love buildings. I love architecture. I love skylines. And my question was like, were city skyline vignettes at the beginning of movies like a 90s thing?
Brian, can I move this into our next hot pocket?
Sure,
Because
yeah, I'd love to.
you have so encapsulated what I wanted to talk about next, which is going to be inside of a cheddar bacon potato.
That's where it needs to be.
Okay.
Is that discontinued?
I think it is.
How dare
I
they?
think it is.
Maybe it was a skyline
so
chili.
I'm so glad you set this
Hot
up
Pocket.
because
Skyline
what I
chili.
want to talk about here is establishing shots.
Okay.
I think this film does a phenomenal job of using establishing shots in a way that just really is. It's not too much, and I think it's a little bit of a lost art. The establishing shot, the shot of Marcus's house before we kind of go inside the house, the shots of Miami before we go inside of Miami. You know, this film does this kind of consistently throughout the film, and I think it actually just helps a kind of a slow person like me follow the film a little bit better when it kind of clearly sets up scenes with these establishing shots.
I feel like that's a signature of the director, though.
Yeah.
Like he always
big
like,
drone shots,
always
big zoom in
big
shots,
drone shots, big like scenic spaces. He always is setting the scene before he goes into
and that's
it.
like honestly, that's like 101, you know, cinematography.
Yeah, it's not like an
where it's
innovative thing,
and it's just
but-
funny. But he was very creative. I'll give him respect for that. Where he was doing these crazy shots that were probably a helicopter with a long zoom, or some type of huge wide zoom that's like shooting through the building. Like he'll do a lot of those speed cameras where like they're walking quickly through the building. But
well, hey, he did it. They did the establishing shot right here, and I think again that the skyline at the beginning, like I love. There's been so many movies in the '90s where it's like this whatever score against just helicopter shots over a city, and that never gets old to me. That's why I love the Miramax logo. You get that skyline and kind of all the windows in the buildings
it's
turned
awesome.
into Miramax. Like, just give it to me, man. I love that stuff.
Fun fact about the tire guy.
He's Sopranos too.
Sopranos.
Yep.
Yeah. And then also White Lotus.
Which season?
2.
Oh, he was in
season
season
2. He's
two.
the dad, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Onto a barbecue pork.
Okay. Barbecue pork.
Did you guys notice the way that showed this a couple times? How Mike Lowrey like wears kind of like an upside down pistol, kind of in the small of his back.
Yeah.
It's very gangster and very unnecessary. It doesn't even make much sense.
Upside down, does he grab it this way?
I was kind of trying to work it out.
Like how do
myself?
you just grab it?
And if he's right-handed, it honestly doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Because you have to.
It would make more sense if it was
Because it
just
looks
pointed
cool.
down.
It looks
Yeah,
cool.
why
as
is
it
it
the
comes
pointed
out.
barrel of the pistol is like down your ass crack.
Why is it not
Right.
that way?
It's not. It's just
Wait,
upside down.
Does Lawrence grab it from his back at one point? Is
I
it
don't
just a
think so.
backup for his backup guy?
No, it's just his second gun.
Can we talk about that for a second, though? That's in movies a lot where someone just kind of just stuffs like a metal gun into their waist. If my fucking sock is slightly tilted, I can't function.
Yeah.
How do people walk with a gun? Like, I'm just going to put a gun right here and walk around and sit down. I don't know how they do it.
I mean, if you're a cop, you probably get used to it.
My friend Chris
God bless him.
My friend Chris puts his in his fanny pack that he wears.
Hey, that's I can
That's the
see
thing
that.
now.
I can
Dude,
see
whenever
that.
I see some dude just walking around with one of those fanny packs, I got a heater in there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, what else could be in there?
Yeah.
Like,
He's very unassuming, but he's going to shoot somebody.
anyways, I just thought that was kind of silly. You know, they did a mac and cheese.
Oh. Sounds good.
Yeah,
I
no
love
meat,
mac and cheese.
no meat pocket.
Hey,
For
no
you,
meat.
Brian.
I'm in.
Well, I guess
have that
no, you're
vegan
not, 'cause
cheese.
You're vegan.
Yeah, you gotta have
well, I
that
mean, it
vegan
could be,
cheese, though.
whatever.
Yeah,
It
you
sounds
never know.
delicious. Hey, I'm not bringing my stupid vegan shit into these hot pocket in the hot pocket. I am judging a hot pocket based on what I remember they taste like.
Brian is one of the good vegans. Yeah, we like him.
Thank you.
I want to talk Sanchez and Ruiz.
Oh, they were great.
These guys are
Dude,
phenomenal.
I
just
wanted
wrote-
more of them. I wanted more of them.
I want a whole spinoff.
I want a whole spinoff of them.
I want them on the Ambrosial.
They're basically the same like as the main two guys. Their chemistry and like
they're
the
like
tall,
a
short,
they're a reflection.
They could be exactly who they are.
Yeah, they're so much fun, and they've got great jokes.
Yeah, the mom joke. Your mom joke. Yeah. It was
Your mom
so good.
snorted it all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
What's the other guys with Will Ferrell and Mark
that's good.
Wahlberg?
Yeah.
That reminds me of that scene where it's like they go and they're competing with the other officer set.
Oh yeah,
and that's
yeah,
exactly
the
what it
better guys,
reminded
yeah.
me of. And
Yeah.
it just like when he sees, what was it, The Rock and somebody else?
The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah.
That's
Those are
exactly what it made me laugh about. And
Yeah.
it was just, so good.
This will be brief because we've already kind of touched on it, but this is Southwest Chicken and Joe Pantoliano. I just wrote Arrow Oscar ?
I mean, he is so.
Does he have
good.
one?
He should. He should have 5 probably, but no.
Wait, are you talking about Martin Lawrence with the gun? I just saw
No,
his.
no.
It is upside down.
No, you're talking
No,
about
I'm
Mike
talking about
Lowry.
Will
You're talking
Smith.
about Will Smith, right?
Yeah.
Oh, his other Martin Lawrence's character had his
Oh.
strapped sideways, upside down on his back.
Maybe he
just
does it
now
too.
in the scene, and I was
I
just
only
so
noticed
thrown.
Will Smith, but
Yeah,
it's a
keep an eye
little
out.
it's a little weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is fun.
Can't wait.
I think Enrique is going to blast this one with something.
Hit us, Enrique.
Maybe a little bit of a little sriracha or something. I don't know. This is a grilled cheese and tomato soup hot pocket.
Holy moly!
How do they contain it all?
A little soupy, but we don't know the
Yes.
mystery of Hot Pocket. We don't know the emulsifiers that Hot Pocket uses, but
They're industrial.
they are. How about okay? I really enjoyed in this film how the main characters, and this is something that I just it was kind of a subtle thing, but elevated the film for me. I love how these guys tell each other they love each other. I think that's really interesting. You don't get that in Lethal Weapon. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, and I also like how Marcus just so, I love you, man. And Will Smith's like, fuck you, Marcus.
Yeah, he's so mad. He's so mad. He's like, nah, but I do love
That
you.
feels like a best friend.
I like he goes, fuck you, Mark, slow ass
But doesn't
driver,
he-
driving like a bitch.
Doesn't he say something like, but I do love you, or something like that?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like,
Well, in the end
I
of
mean,
the
I do.
movie, he says, I love you.
Well, he
back
says
to
it in that scene. He's kind of like after Will Smith lambasts him. He's like, he says something like,
Yeah, he says something sort of endearing.
but I do. And it's just kind of endearing.
Slow ass driver, driving like a bitch. and then they sing. So, okay, I just think that's like, these guys are just fun. They're fun. Okay,
Yeah,
they're a lot more fun than, once again, I spent a long time since I've seen the Lethal Weapon movies, so maybe I shouldn't
That's true.
talk
I haven't seen those in a long time either.
so much about them. But to me, this movie just seems like the two main characters are just a lot more fun. They sing together. They tell each other they love each other. They kind of have this chemistry that just seems higher, more elevated than most, I guess, in the genre.
Like best friends.
Yeah,
It doesn't hit me as strong, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, they're funny. That's the thing, is that they're both very funny, but like there's not like the depth that I get from like a Lethal Weapon or whatever. But I do love a lot of the quotes, like when Marcus said at the very beginning, he's talking about his car, right? And he's like, it's a shiny dick with 2 chairs in it. I guess we just the 2 balls being dragged along.
That was my favorite.
That was
I wrote
funny.
that down too.
And then and I also, speaking of that scene, I always love in a movie where somebody's boasting about how fast their car is, and then they give the actual 0 to 60 metrics on it.
yeah, it was like 4
seconds.
And it's like, my car's way faster than that now.
Yeah,
That's
that $100,000 Porsche.
Brian
Yeah.
works in his top speed every episode.
I paid
somehow.
way less for my car than you paid
Somehow.
for yours.
Yeah.
Sorry. I apologize.
Don't ever apologize.
I'm not going to tell anyone what my car is because they'll vandalize it and my house.
Yeah.
Well,
Probably.
doesn't take gas.
It's a swastika.
Could be
And
it could be a Rivian.
And it rhymes with Schmeshla.
No, it doesn't. It could be a Ioniq Hyundai.
I like Wank Panzer. That's
It could be a Volkswagen. It could be a BMW. You have no idea what my car is.
I think the Wake Panzer's only the truck. But yeah. Okay.
What's our next hot pocket?
It's a beef taco, and we're gonna talk about Taleone. All I said was I just wrote "whoa."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Jeez.
The entire movie.
I like how he duels a pistol and then he's got a revolver. That's what his dual guns were.
Oh, I like that too.
Oh, it's so powerful.
That's so
Hang on.
But they all make the same sound.
We just talked about Taleone and we set her up, and then we went to a whole different world.
More guns.
Yeah, Grizz is easily distracted, and so am I.
Yeah, sorry.
I want to give context to both.
I'm
of
sorry,
these.
Taleone. Sorry,
Yeah. So you were talking about the bad guy,
Yeah,
the French
sorry.
guy, right?
I thought that was his name. My bad.
Yeah. No.
Cheeky.
Oh, you're talking
Cheeky.
about
That's cheeky. That's my bad.
So, Grizz, we don't have a crush on the old French villain.
No,
I apparently do.
we maybe do.
I like Dimitri Mishkin. He's kind of a hottie.
We were actually talking about Taleone, the sort of love interest.
Got it.
In the movie, and yeah, she was great. She was great in this movie.
Yes, she was. She was. But let's talk more about Cheeky in this spicy jalapeno chicken. Cheeky, I feel like let's rate Cheeky as a bad guy.
As a bad guy?
Out of 10.
Out of 10?
I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, 7 feels about right.
Yeah.
7. It's not lower than 7.
Yeah.
But it's not like a Die Hard type of a villain,
Not quite, but
which is a 10.
He does bring a very strong accent.
And like I believe
that goes a long way.
It does, because it shows that they're not American.
Yeah, 7.5.
Right.
I was going to push it to an 8 just
Yeah,
because he's just so
probably right.
insane.
Why?
He's a 7 or an 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why, when he shot Sam, Mike Lowry's friend, Mike Lowry, why does he hold a pillow over the gun?
Okay, I had that same question.
It's a silence.
He acts like the pillow's a suppressor.
What does that? Maybe he was trying to hide it or something. It just seemed a little silly.
Yeah.
I think that surprise of them killing that actress off was actually wildly interesting.
Yeah, it was not bad.
The pillow. I don't know what they were doing.
Seemed, I don't know.
I have some other questions about some guns in this movie, if I can maybe ask them here. So you remember when they're in the liquor store?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
Whoa.
That's going to be a whole hot pocket.
The little bodega.
Yeah, let's go do it. Do
Yeah,
the hot
the
pocket.
little-
We're not there yet.
No, we'll save it.
Jeez,
We'll save it.
so
Yeah,
sorry.
we're not
No,
there
totally
yet.
save it. This is not Brian's corner.
Yeah. This is hot pocket. Where we're now going to move on to an Italian style
20
sausage
minutes
with
left.
peppers.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
And I want to talk pagers because Mike Lowry has got a pager.
He's got a pager.
And I feel like we already had a pager rant, like maybe on like episode 7.
We did. We talked about pagers because I talked about how I sold them.
But I
in
now
Circuit
want to
City.
talk about them
Was it?
again.
Last Jedi? Is that what we were talking about, Pager?
Yeah, last Jedi.
Because no one listened to us back then, and now we have 7 to 8 listeners.
Let's
per
talk
episode.
about
Yeah.
pagers.
At least. Yeah.
What do we want to
Did
talk
we
about?
have a pager?
I
Did
never
we-
had one.
No,
Oh, you never.
never.
Guys never had pagers?
No,
me
never had a
neither.
pager.
Me neither.
No.
Yeah.
We were
My
at least
first phone ever was a flip phone, and it had kind of that like indigo, like blue background lighting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
That was my first ever
Samsung.
device.
Samsung?
It was a Samsung. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
had the same
Remember,
one.
there was like
We were-
there were stores that just did pagers.
Yeah.
like
yeah.
just pagers.
We were a Verizon family, so we had the LG flip phones, but I remember pagers were a big deal at those. So
Yeah,
there was two-way. Remember the two-way pager?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where it was kind of like the start of texting.
OG texting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pagers were like people who were like 5 years older than us, like kind of like firmly into
close,
like the late Gen Xers. Those
Yeah,
were
yeah,
the
yeah.
pager people.
Yeah.
And now, can I get a
speak for
pager?
yourself, 5 years older than you.
My
Yeah,
mom,
actually, so 10 years older than you.
my mom had one because she worked at a hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
So-
lot of doctors. I
A
think
lot of
still have
doctors,
pagers.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's all still a thing.
Now, can I get a pager right now? I could.
you could.
I could
Yeah,
just be
you
like,
can.
I'm a doctor,
Yeah, I
and
think
I
you
need a
could.
pager.
Yep.
I don't
guys
even
can-
think you need to be a doctor to get a pager.
You can just
you
get
could
one.
just get
Yeah.
one.
You're a writer.
Yeah.
You can get a pager.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna get a pager. I'm gonna tell you guys, hit me on the hip.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Hit me on the hip.
Yeah.
I'll hit you on the hip.
Okay. I'm glad
It
we
costs
talked
74 cents per page.
It was a per page.
Yeah,
it was a per
about that.
page.
Definitely. Let's talk a chicken Alfredo, and I want to talk a little Marcus. We've the whole bit where he's got to be Mike, works for me, and it goes on for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think it works. I also, there's a subtle detail about Marcus that's sort of endearing. You guys notice how he saves the dog, Teo Leone's dog, when they're like under gunfire, and he
Yeah.
goes back for the dog.
Well,
To
she
save
yells at him to grab the dog.
Well, but he does it.
Yeah, true.
You know?
True.
So I just feel like that really is a, there's a whole book, by Blake Snyder, who's a screenwriter called Save the Cat, where he was literally like, you have your protagonist like save an animal because that's like makes them, more likable. Right. And they literally do this in the movie. He literally saves a dog. So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of an interesting detail.
More vegan propaganda there.
Vegan propaganda.
Okay. How about just mozzarella and marinara? Would that be good?
Yeah.
With no meat?
Mozzarella and marinara.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's like a pizza.
Yeah. What kind of crust?
Cheese pizza.
Just basic Hot Pocket crust?
Once again.
Well, it's been hard. It's
Vegetarian.
been ranch blasted hard. It's been.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not Enrique. Who's Enrique's subordinate?
I thought it was Greg.
Greg.
Yeah,
Greg was the ranch blaster.
Greg, yeah, he got a little wild with the hose, with the ranch blasting hose.
He like used to work in like an HVAC company, and like he kind of got into Hot Pocket. He's just like a good old hard worker.
It's just covered. It's covered. Boy, did I LOL when Marcus trips in Mike's apartment when he's like,
Oh, that was good.
I know where I'm at.
He's like, "Oh, you found the light switch over there? Oh, they move around a little bit on me."
and then the pictures. Oh, it's one of my friends. It's like,
Okay, wait a lot of pictures of your
Can
friend.
we talk about
And my
that for a
favorite-
second?
Why does he have so many pictures of
Nick,
himself?
Nick, you so as sort of a bachelor yourself, how many pictures of yourself do you have adorning your walls and shelves?
None.
0, right?
Yeah.
None.
Why does Mike Lowry
just
show
shows
1,000
yeah,
pictures
He's a little bit of a
himself?
narcissist.
Yeah, he's a bit of a
little bit of a
narcissist.
narcissist.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I think I'm not buying that. But anyway, it's
Well,
fine. It's
I
a
thought
small.
The funniest part of that scene was when Marcus is getting on the answering machine and the woman is talking.
Oh, he's trying to figure out how to cut
and
it
he's
off.
and he's like, "Don't call here no more, freak."
Dude, I'm telling you, he's probably 20 points in my score. He is so funny in this movie.
Or when the massage therapist comes in.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
It just takes out there. He's like,
when Martin Lawrence is in trouble,
yes.
when he's in trouble or on the
funny.
verge of being in
good.
trouble, I'll eat that up all day
Yeah,
long.
this is one of my freaks. One of my freaks. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Yeah. Beef enchilada.
Mhm.
I kind of just have this soft spot for the scene where Pantaleano is shooting baskets and smoking a cigar at the
Yeah.
same time.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Is there
Missing-
anything cooler than playing sports while smoking a cigar? No.
And also, I love when someone's just terrible at basketball,
Yeah.
like and it's like kind of like a Philip Seymour Hoffman,
Yeah.
Long
Yeah,
King
yeah,
Polly
Long
kind of
King
deal,
Polly.
But they're like trying
Rain
their
Man.
hardest,
Rain
like they're
Man.
really taking it
Man.
serious. They're like really kind of channeling their
like
Yeah.
but he's smoking a cigar though, and
I
that's
know, I
like
love that.
that's so awesome because like where's
so-
he?
it's so
ashing it?
him.
Where's it? What's the logistics of a cigar on a
that's
basketball
so
court?
early 90s, mid 90s Michael Jordan. Like, he was watching the Bulls back then.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
So
I mean that was the Bulls era.
Yeah.
That was.
How about a chicken and mushroom? Do you guys go for that?
I
The
mean,
creamy.
those are two good, tasty things together. Got to be
Yeah.
good, right?
Okay. Yeah, I haven't tried it.
I would eat.
I'm not
If
big
Hot
on
Pocket,
mushrooms,
listen. If
With
Hot
like a
Pocket,
cream of mushroom soup
if Hot
inside.
Pocket makes it, I'm trying it.
Yeah,
I'm eating it.
Same. This is just one of my favorite quotes in the film, and it's kind of it's not one of the probably more popular ones, but kind of when Will Smith goes up to his apartment for the first time after the dogs have been in there and stuff, and he's kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
observing what's
That's
been
a great
going
scene.
on, and he goes, That looks like a stain on your rug. Damn.
He's so perturbed by it, but he
the way
has
the
to.
dogs just get on the leather. Like,
I love that the dog
good
is on the
comedy.
couch
Boy.
right now.
yeah.
I just love how he's on the
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna pay to get that fixed or whatever. The stain on the carpet. Yeah, that was so good.
So this one's Enrique's special. It's the pure sriracha chicken. So this is one Enrique handles himself, always. He individually flavor blasts each Hot Pocket.
Each one of them?
Can you take himself seriously? Wow. To get through, but yeah, I believe it. though.
One by one.
Yeah, Enrique's not fucking around.
Yeah, that's why he gets the big buck.
Yeah.
He is the flavor connoisseur. I mean, I bet Enrique does pretty well.
Yeah.
I think he drives a Wank Panzer.
He doesn't. They don't like give him like an hourly rate or a salary. He like
No,
he's
it's by
contract.
the blast.
Yeah, he's contract.
Yeah, each
He's
time he
per
blasts a Hot
blast.
Pocket, he gets a little bit more money.
Get it.
What the fuck is wrong with us? Anyway, okay. I want to talk about Club Hell. Thoughts on Club Hell? Did you guys think it would look like a cool party place? Do you guys want to go to Club Hell?
I can't remember where you're talking about.
We
Club
throwing
Hell,
that up.
it was the party scene where it was the big club where they go to. Probably about 2/3
where
of the way
he gets
to the
in a
film.
fight in the bathroom.
Taylor Leone tries to shoot the bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And his bag
fight
goes
in the
over Lawrence's
bathroom.
head. Yeah.
Club
So
Hell.
Brian,
It was called Club Hell.
It was called Club Hell. Didn't
Club
strike
Hell.
you then? Didn't strike you?
Yeah, I didn't place it by the name, but yeah, that set. You know, Michael, I don't love Michael Bay's club scenes. Like there was one in Armageddon, I remember. It was like
very
like a club scene.
so over the top.
I've been to clubs and I don't. They're
never
not like
like
Michael Bay's clubs,
No.
and I don't. And of course, maybe it wasn't because I didn't go to them in the early '90s. Maybe it's because but Michael Bay's club scenes just don't do it for me. They're not serious enough. They're like for kids. They're like,
well, they're
haha,
so
this is what a club's like. It's like-
stereotypical.
You didn't see
like,
the
even like
go-go.
here's another. It's not exactly a club, but like the boxing gym. It was like what ridiculous. Like there's
Yeah.
like people in every corner like hitting
Yeah,
speed
the
bag.
boxing
There's
gym
like
was weird,
all
too.
these models like doing curls. Like it's just like what this is
Did you
not what
catch
a boxing gym is
yeah.
like.
Did you catch them running through like the little alleyways and stuff through the white buildings, and there was just a random photo shoot of like three women in bikinis.
Yeah, that
I
was
just
random.
you're right. I think that's what it is. It's that his stuff's not realistic enough when you've been to these actual places. Because a lot of the places in this movie we've never been to because they're like these weird places a normal person wouldn't go to. But like when he shows a place that we've been. And it's like you're like, wait a minute, that's not what it's like. I mean, just think back like 2 episodes ago to Come True when he goes to rescue her from that club. It's a tiny movie, right? No budget, but like I felt like that was what a club was like. I know that there's 30 years between the movies or whatever, but like,
yeah,
come.
Better.
I mean, and again, but I don't want to take too much away from the movie because maybe he's stylizing it on purpose. I don't know. Didn't hit me huge.
Also, just kind of the like when Marcus is taking a piss in the bathroom and he gets like the plastic bag over the head. That's like a savage move.
That's got to be the
Like
worst.
the plastic
way to go.
bag over the head.
That actually surprised me, that scene, because he turned to address the guy, and then the other guy next to him was the one.
He didn't even
I was like,
notice.
oh shit, that was good. Yeah.
Terrible
Not
cop
bad.
move. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're gonna move on to a chicken club, and we're gonna talk that kind of bodega scene, which is maybe my favorite scene in the movie. Maybe it's definitely up there. The guy, the proprietor, is
I've seen him before. He's
just hilarious, and the way he kind of combines like curses. He's like, mother bitch.
He's good.
It's like I blow you,
Yeah.
and then I blow you. It's like just sort of his broken English. It's just
That's a funny.
very, very, very funny. And just the freeze, bitch, and then the no, you freeze, bitch. Now back up, put the gun down, give me a pack of Tropical Fruit Bubblicious and some Skittles. I mean, it's just, to me, that's like one of the most satisfying scenes I've really ever seen.
That's all fine.
That was a lot of fun.
I put it on replay so
That was
many
fun.
times
But
as a teenager.
Why didn't they just tell him they were cops?
I know,
Why
it's
didn't they
insane.
just
It's
flash a
ridiculous.
fucking
No, they
badge?
did. They did.
No,
did you not get the
he
joke?
did. Remember,
Yeah,
he's like,
did.
badges? You
He
want
goes-
badges?
Yeah, he
99
goes,
cents?
Yeah, he goes, I got
badges?"
plenty of
No,
badges, and he
but
throws
like-
the fake badges in his face.
But see, okay, just you guys think about real life.
No, I know.
Think about real life for a second. If 2 actual cops who are not undercover, they're cops, and they walk into a liquor store, would that ever happen in a million
yeah, but they
years?
didn't have uniforms on.
No, it would never
Would anyone
happen. You'd
ever pull out-
that guy? Listen, that guy. If that's the way that guy behaves, he would have been dead 20 years ago. No, that none of the things in that scene ever
it's
happened.
absolutely ridiculous. I agree. Would anyone ever pull out 2 guns at
That's
the
the
same
other
time
thing,
like
2
that?
guns.
No,
You know
of
what?
course not.
Every time we do an episode now, I'm going to reference back to my friend with the fanny pack and the gun in it. He's an officer, a police officer. So I'm going to actually ask him every time we do a movie like this, his professional opinion on how accurate the
I would
film
love
is.
to hear his. I would love to hear his opinion.
that's ridiculous.
I bet he would look at this scene.
No one
and-
pulls out
I
2
bet he would
guns.
just laugh at this scene. And the other thing is, like, she bought that. You said it was a bodega. It was a liquor store.
I said bodega, yeah.
No,
it was a
how many liquor stores sell shampoo?
That's my point. It was a liquor store that sold shampoo.
No,
Yes, it was.
I said it was a
Go back
bodega.
and look at
They
that.
also-
It was all
bodega.
liquor.
They also sell candy. That's a Miami bodega.
Yeah,
man.
they had candy and everything.
I'm
There's
sorry,
food.
but-
There's food. There's toiletries. There's liquor. That's a bodega.
I've been to Miami only once, but I guess I've never been to a Miami bodega. So they have stores that just liquor, shampoo, and gum. Okay. So Ben's corroborating. All right, liquor, shampoo, guns. Those 3 things.
I've been to
Okay.
a bodega like that.
It's just those 3.
That's a real thing.
just
so
the
have
3.
I, yeah.
All right. Roast beef and cheddar. Marcus's wife, she's so mean to him. Is it warranted? There's no trust in this
It's
relationship.
not warranted. She's too mean to
She's
him.
Yeah,
too
she's
mean.
pretty mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's just not.
We don't know a
nice.
lot, but she seemed pretty mean.
But she did really turn around and get right back on his side again at the end. So
ride or die.
That was cool. Yeah. But yeah, she was way too mean, and I feel like that was another like trope. Like, oh, the wife's mean at the husband, mad at the husband.
Mac and cheese, and we're gonna add a little bacon.
Okay.
A little bacon in there. So kind of an iconic shot, maybe arguably the most iconic shot in the movie is that sort of rotating low hero shot, right? Yeah. Kind of moves around Mike and Marcus, kind of right before the sort of climactic sequence of events. And the thing that kind of struck me on this probably 37th viewing of this film was kind of how short and subtle it was. It was fast.
It's not what we think of.
So much faster.
Because when you see it in Bad Boys 2, it's like
Bad Boys
music
2,
is
it's
raging
huge.
and it's like 30 seconds long and it's swinging around him. But in this one, it's kind of like it's really kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like I think because they didn't overdo it, and I hadn't really. I mean, I'm not I haven't seen every movie, but I don't know a movie before this that had that kind of shot. I mean, it's just a cool shot.
Again, that was one of Michael Bay's sort of signature shots, and it was way overdone in sequels, and that's why like the original's better than Bad Boys 2, because like those type of things that got sort of a caricature of what it was or like overblown. Like just give me the heart of it, which is what we got here with the circle shot.
Yeah.
So I agree with you on that. Yeah,
it was nice. Chicken cordon bleu.
Hey,
whoa, we're getting fancy out here.
Apropos for our French villain here.
I feel like you can't put that in a microwave.
I've definitely.
You gotta put that in the oven.
How perfect is this? Because we're going to talk about him and his villainy.
Oh, you paired it perfectly.
I did. I want to talk about that very final car chase. I think the car chases in this movie are, once again, the action good enough, but it's not the best part of the movie. However, I love that final car chase. It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
The one they have to like go through that little opening.
Which makes no sense. Just push hit the brakes. Yeah. Like it's just like
if you look at it with just one scene, it looks like they both could have fit pretty well through. But
and they probably
it was pretty tight. It was pretty tight,
but they could have fit.
I did like the two cars that were.
But that was just a fun, like a showdown with these two supercars. You know, and you know the whole like kind of idea that you know Marcus is like this kind of driving Miss Daisy kind of guy, and Will Smith is all out. That's how you're supposed to drive. That's how you drive from now on. Like it's just I don't know. That just gets me amped up every time. Like I just think it's a really stupid. Like it's like who is like let's set up a couple of concrete barriers down on this runway, and then we'll just see if one car can squeeze through first. It's like it doesn't make any sense.
Who is this guy? Who's this person?
That's Michael Bay. That's Michael Bay.
Oh, okay, that's your Michael Bay voice.
Yeah, right. That's how he talks.
We have a new voice.
I love it. New voice.
We're ready to go.
I didn't know you didn't know how that's how he talks.
No, dude. That's great.
Anyway, it's very, very, very stupid. But at the same time, I think it just works really well because it also just kind of plays it. It's a callback, you know, which is always
callbacks are one of my favorite things. So good.
Okay. We already kind of talked about how our two protagonists here talk about how they love each other, which I just think is kind of brilliant and vulnerable. I like the vulnerability of that. So we're not going to close with that Hot Pocket because we already kind of covered it. But we're going to close with, what are we going to close with? Let's get something good here. How about we don't usually do garlic. How about a garlic chicken Alfredo?
Sounds amazing.
That could be pretty fucking good.
Can we get a little Parmesan on there? Branch blast some Parmesan on there.
Parmesan.
And I want to talk about, because of the theme song, Bad Boys, and just the nature of the film. Did you guys watch Cops?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I watched so much Cops.
I watched so much Cops.
Early morning, guys, usually.
You know, sometimes there are those Reddit topics. It's like, what from the 90s do you miss? Like, what's the thing? You know, I miss Cops. Like, what the fuck happened to Cops? Like, I know there was that live PD bullshit for a while, and like there's like some interesting body cam stuff now on YouTube. But like, I just want Cops. I want 3 segments, 10 minutes apiece. Show me what happens. Give me a couple hookers, couple drug dealers, couple bank robberies, couple traffic tickets. Like, I just loved Cops, and I miss it dearly.
I have an answer.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not a good answer.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you.
It's not a good answer.
You're not going to like it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, let us know.
Well,
I know the answer.
Cops aren't what all they were cracked up to what they used to be. Cops, great. I still love the show.
Cops.
I love the show. Great people, but like it's a different time.
Yeah, things are different.
It's just not going to draw the numbers that it used to.
I just miss it.
Yeah,
I miss Cops.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
I'm just trying to answer the question.
Like there was a time.
I guess
in
I
life,
get my fill because my friend just tells me all the stories and tells me all that's happening. He sends me
I feel like there was a time, and I feel like it was in 1997, where you could find cops on 24 hours a day.
Yeah, it would be on
one
like,
channel or another.
If you would go to like a public place, like a bar or something, like in the afternoon or something,
One TV
cops
would
would be on
yeah.
at the bar, kind of like Sports Center's on.
Yeah, there was
that's
like,
where
even
cops
like
was.
Fox
at.
just had like a 2-hour block of cops like every fucking day.
Yeah.
Like it was like from like 1 to 3. It was just fucking cops. Yeah.
There was a full season shot in Indianapolis.
Yeah, but I know.
Yeah.
A whole season?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
What
one
year
where,
was this?
On the
There's
east
one
side.
where this like karate master like kicks the shit out of this guy that tries to mug him.
Yeah.
In downtown Indianapolis. It's amazing. Yeah, no, I've seen the Indianapolis.
He's like, "Ugh."
Hey, real quick before we close, can I talk about? Remember when I did like the most quoted one-liners of movies of all time?
Yeah.
Right. We had.
Brad, do you want to make this a? Do you want to make this a?
Let's go.
Ooh,
Hop.
let's
Give me
do
a
it,
flavor.
yeah.
Give me a flavor.
shrimp scampi.
Shrimp scampi.
Sure.
That sounds so fitting.
Do you remember what won
Yeah.
that list of quotes? I'll be back was
Yeah.
like the most
back.
quoted, and that was quoted here in Bad Boys.
Very good.
And this is only a few years
Very
after
good.
Terminator
Oh,
2.
yeah,
Very
So
good.
again, just kind of like
Yeah.
like reinforcing that that is like
That's got yeah. It was the right
it's
answer.
huge. Yeah, yeah.
That's
I
the
think
right
I think it was right. Yeah.
Yeah. Social media. That's the thing I hear.
Lots of it.
And
We're
we're
on
on
social
it.
media.
We're on the TikTok.
Yep. It's all here's your gate.
Instagram,
Here-
TikTok.
Here's where you should go. criticalmasspodcast.com. It's all there.
Yep. Or any username at Critical Mass Podcast. Wherever you
I
listen.
don't understand what you just said.
Any social network at Critical Mass Podcast.
Yes.
So if I went to Facebook
don't
at
understand.
criticalmasspodcast.com. Wait,
I don't
I don't know
understand
how
it.
you're speaking.
It's so old.
I don't know.
Good God.
we're on YouTube.
I don't
We're on
like
YouTube.
it.
Please watch us on YouTube.
Yep.
We're
Check
on
out YouTube.
I don't know what else we're on. Spotify.
Just go to
Apple.
criticalmasspodcast.com. Like I said
Yes,
originally,
like what
you'll
Brad
find it all
said.
there.
Critical Mass Podcast.
Trying to hit
All
all
right.
the demographics.
Good gravy. Let's close with our thoughts here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what much more there is to say from me. I fucking love this movie. I love action
94.
movies, and I love this movie.
That's high.
I will.
94.
But guys, you have to also remember that like this was a movie that was like one of my formative films. Like this is like a movie when I was like 17 that I just like watched on Saturdays. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it's just like in like in a way that like very few other movies can replicate. So I get that colors kind of my score here, which is obviously very high. But I do think this is one of the best action movies ever made. I think it's got some of the best on-screen chemistry between two protagonists ever done. And I think there are the kind of the action, the story, script, cinematography is all good and good enough to make this movie, you know, to still be great with those things that are great about it. So I love this movie. If you like action movies, you just can't go wrong with this.
Yeah, I can't be mad about any of that. This is a lot of fun. I mean, for me, the biggest sell for me is just the chemistry between Lawrence and Smith. So for me, that's well worth a ticket for this film. So plot is pretty basic. It's very cookie cutter or repeat, but it's also classic Michael Bay, early Michael Bay. So if you're into that and you want to find a great buddy cop movie,
Yeah.
this is there.
I got to say, I'm glad this movie was made for a number of reasons. And I think it belongs, in the action movie pantheon. I don't think it did anything special. I don't think there was anything that elevated it beyond just sort of like your standard fare of action flicks. I think it was entertaining, but I don't. Again, when the credits roll, I'm done. It's like I'm not thinking back to it. So yeah, just kind of middling for me.
Okay. This is Critical Mess, the Ambrosia List.
Hey,
That's what we're all about.
Mine-
we're going to talk
Central.
about our next movie, right?
We're going to talk about our next movie.
What
and
you gonna
it's
pick?
Brian's choice, and he's got a very contemporary choice.
Ooh, what are you picking?
Wow. Spoiler alert.
I'm a video game player
Ooh.
and
Video game creator.
and a video game creator. Thank you, Chris. And one of the video games that I played the most in my life has just been made into a movie, and it's blowing up the box office, and it is a critical disaster. And we're going to talk about it next time. It's called A Minecraft Movie. So stay tuned for that.
Wow.
Okay.
A new one.
All right. Well, thank you, dear listener. If you made it this far, I mean, good gravy. You're a saint.
No one's listening. No one's
You're a
listening.
saint. And by the way, listen to the Saint because that's an episode
Actually,
we did.
yeah, check
from
out
our
The
man
Saint
Val
in
Kilmer.
honor of Val
R.I.P.
Kilmer.
We love Val Kilmer. You know, Tombstone, the Saint. I mean, that's
The
all you
Saint
gotta
is
say.
a great episode. Go back. It's great.
So next episode, do you like it? Do you like it?
Exactly.
So the next episode, we're doing Minecraft, I guess.
Minecraft.
I don't even know-
Minecraft.
I don't even know what a Minecraft is, but we're gonna find out, and I'm excited to see. This has been Bad Boys. This has been episode 56. Holy shit!
Jesus.
That's a lot of episodes.
It's a lot.
We'll be back for 57 with Minecraft, and we'll catch you on the flip.
All right, later.
See ya.